I mean, there are PFPs and stuff, but they're not even that important on Tezos. But if it's like VRMs and things with utility, that's also not really a big deal on Tez. There are like cool 3D assets and things that I've collected and used, but for the most part, it's like an underground chain for like artists, that want to sell accessibly to people that don't have a lot of money, and so I definitely prefer that for accessible art. But for like one of ones and expensive stuff, that I usually do on ETH.
So is it cheaper? You're saying it's more affordable. Cheaper like gas fees, or cheaper as in like the art is less
Yeah. So
costly?
the biggest value of Tez in 2021 was before ETH 2.0 came out. And so there was the big dialogue about it's harmful for the environment, all that jazz, and gas fees are a pain in the ass. And at that time, gas fees were insane, if you remember, like people complain about 90 gwei right now, but like back then there was like 350 gwei, like a transaction would be like $150 sometimes to
I
more.
yeah.
Remember that?
I think I've blocked those. I've blocked those memories out.
Yeah, and so Tezos was around, I think, before Polygon, especially definitely before Polygon appeared on OpenSea for sure. So nobody was really using Polygon. Whichever came first, I'm not sure. But Tezos was there, and Tezos was as cheap as Polygon, and it was green. It was like one of the first green blockchains, so it wasn't harmful to the environment. So people that were really opposed to ETH harming the environment were jumping onto Tez, and so it had all these positives, and it really was like this underground blockchain that came up, like grassroots campaign style, and it just kind of held strong, and it's still surviving. The community is kind of quieted a little bit, just like all other, blockchains and metaverse situations. But Tez has a very special place in my heart.
Mine too, and I just echo everything you just said. I really do love Tez. It is it makes you think like each um blockchain kind of has their own vibe to it. And Tezos has a certain vibe, and I'm like weird with my art, and I felt like when I looked at object, I was like my art uh looks like it would fit in here, and I was initially just drawn to Tezos because it was eco-friendly and it was proof of stake, and you could also bake it. And they were ahead of the game on ETH, and they're kind of comparable to Solana. But I really like Tez and kind of everything they stand for. And in terms of like, we always say like decentralization, but that's in terms of percentage and how many wallets are holding the total supply, right? And so in terms of percentage of decentralization, Tezos is at the top of diverse number of wallets who hold it. It's not, it's more decentralized than ETH and other blockchain and like Bitcoin. Those are, we say decentralized, but they're actually really, really centralized within a few wallets that hold massive amounts. Like if they were to sell, it would just plummet the whole price of that. So when you look at the price of Tezos, like that's spread out through a large number of wallets, so it's very decentralized. And the proof of stake and baking, like I've been baking, and I literally can buy NFTs with the rewards that you get from putting it into a baker. And there's also voting involved when you hold Tezos, so there is centralized governance, and it's just pretty cool. And I just want to shout out Kevin. I like Kevin. I don't know if you know Kevin Rustan, but yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I've gotten flashbacks actually with this conversation. Like early on, it was such an awful platform to Hicket Nunk. Like I love Hicket Nunk, and but it was so glitchy and slow and hard to like get your account put on. It was such a pain in the neck. But for what, like, it's kind of like how Decentraland is so glitchy and messed up, but we just can't resist, but still stick around. It's like the same as that. It's so funny.
The art community is strong in Tezos. And as soon as kind of you guys started talking about that, it reminded me of the Tezos like artist events that you used to kind of curate at Casa Rustan.
Yeah, that was fun.
Uh,
That was fun. And I
mhm.
brought
Those
Shark Shark Anthony. Like that was when I first met Shark Anthony. I found his work on Tezos, and I saw he was I think he was like DJing for like Spatial or something like that. And so I invited him and put his piece up, and I think that was like one of his earliest times in Decentraland. I think before that he was like kind of anti TCL a little bit. You know, he was kind of laughing at it a little bit, but then he uh he got more interested when he saw Casa Rustan and his work on the wall. You know, it was a good event. That was a great event.
That was with the big shark in the middle, right? And you like climb through the mouth and go up. Was that
No, that was the
space?
Cove. That was Cove. Casa
Okay.
Rustan was just my little gallery build, and I put up. I think I had like 23 Tezos artists on display on video with a DJ and everything, and it was cool. And they all linked to their Tezos NFTs, and some people made sales, and it was cool.
Yeah, I remember I found my like entertainment in that at those events like by just literally clicking on the dopest piece I could find and then going to the artist Tezos account and then just scrolling through their like library of NFTs of their past work and stuff like that. I definitely need to kind of look back into my lists because even back then I was kind of like making lists of like maybe even artists that I would like to see on Beyond the NFT if they would like to be showcased in that way, and you never know what kind of spark like that could ignite.
Definitely. The community is still strong there. Sales have slowed down a lot with, you know, the bear market. I I was so early, and I was very successful on that platform. And I always had the mentality of like make a sale and a percentage of that sale goes to supporting another artist. And as a result, I have like a huge collection of Tezos NFT art that I collected. And it's funny because like, you know, it's been 3 years now, and some of them I forgot I bought. And it's cool how the setup they have is so cool because you get notified if someone is interested in buying a piece that you own. And so I've flipped some of my collection for like 100x, you know. And so it's been that platform has been so good to me.
And I've had, I've actually had the opportunity to collect your work through Tezos. That's the biggest benefit for me personally,
Yeah, yeah,
because like you Rastan, your work is you make something and that thing is like sold out within the hour type of thing, like. And so Tezos, is that other stream where it's like, okay, I may have not been able to get Rustan's latest work, but I always know that you kind of like drop something there just, for those that miss out.
yeah. That's where I learned how to do additions and pricing right to generate sales like that. It was at one point during the bull market, it was insane there. Like I would sell out in 20 seconds, you know, like 40 pieces, and it was wild. And then people would get really angry and fight over stuff, and so I had to come up with ways to try to make people happy, but it was really hard. It's a great problem to have, you know, but it taught me a lot. I learned a lot, and I have a lot of love for that platform.
Yeah, I mean, most artists will take advantage of kind of like having that type of following, but it's it speaks a lot to who you are that you want everyone to have your art and experience it. um I see Scott's hand has been up for a little bit, and then we'll pass it to Blease.
I'll be real quick. I was just kind of hitchhiking or piggybacking off of your idea Sinful. So how about a Tuesday version of Beyond the NFT? Call it Tezos Tuesdays.
That's already a giant Twitter space, but that would be awesome. Like Tezos Tuesdays are like huge. I love those spaces because you meet the coolest people.
It would be cool to even attempt to, coordinate something together, collaborate. Like, no strings attached, just that. I mean, that's usually how I operate. I always like no strings attached. I just want you to be dope, like on this platform. Just be yourself on this platform.
Yeah, just go and ask and say, hey, can I stream this in Decentraland? And I'd go to that for sure.
Totally. I'm gonna have to pop into the Tezos Tuesday spaces, and yeah, I have come across them. I think I've managed to speak at one in the past, but they get so big sometimes that it's a little hard to get up there. And I'll pass it over to you, Bleefs.
Yeah, sorry we went in the Tezos direction, but I'm catching Rustan here on a space, and it's been a long time. And I know, like, I'll sometimes hear him talk about Tezos, and I'll just be in listener. And yeah, I just wanted to just give that a shout out, and I really appreciate this conversation. I used to hop in there. I recently I can't go into spaces that are shill spaces anymore. My eye starts twitching, and like I just can't do it, and it's just like, no, I can't hear another shill. But I do check out object.com, and I just like checking out the art there at this point. I just like having a conversation like this is what it's about. Like, just have a conversation and let it kind of come naturally. Like the force, like, you have 60 seconds, go. It's like, oh, I can't do it anymore. So yeah, I kind of backed away from those spaces, but yeah, the community is really cool.
Bleefs, you have 60 seconds to describe your build in great detail. I want to know what it took to do your art, and what do you think about the current state of the crypto economy and why we should or should not hold our Bitcoin? 60 seconons.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, all
Everybody
right. I
shut
give
up.
up.
That's too funny.
But
But
dude,
no, I appreciate everyone being here. And no, it doesn't have to be about this. And if you want to check out other builds, I know Joe's here. They have a great build. There's a lot of great builders in here. But yeah, I just appreciate everyone who's in World and who's in the Twitch chat. If you're in the Twitch chat, drop your ETH address. Even if you have one, pay it forward to a friend. I'll send you one. Send it to someone who doesn't have one. That would just mean the world. So even if you have one, drop your ETH address in Sinful's Twitch chat right now. And then if you already have one, just pay it forward. That's all I ask. So yeah, appreciate this, and it's great. It's been a great chat, and yeah, I see Joe's up here.
remember, we have to meditate at 1:23.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
So, Blees, can you fill us in a little bit on the Wellness Week experience, like this build you created for that experience? Like, yeah, what do you think? Did it go down as planned? Were there any unexpected surprises? Anything you can share to, help if somebody was going to try to do this in the future?
And you have more than 60 seconds.
This was everything I could have imagined and more. Everyone really felt the energy of just the entire event. Hearing from people coming in either for the first time or who have been in Decentraland, they really felt the energy that we were bringing, this calming energy, and it really resonated. And they said they felt really welcomed, and that was powerful from people that had been in Decentraland before, and they felt like the music, each build kind of had its vibe and its energy, and it resonated. And the fact that it resonated was really powerful. And I think in this time where a lot of people don't have this third space, and if you were in the Twitter spaces, you've heard me talk about this, but I just think it's really important of the other element that this space can bring. It's not just a game. It's not just, you know, come here for a party. It's you come here to have that third place that you may not have in the physical world. Maybe you work from home and you're at home and you don't go out much. You don't have that third space to come here and to feel that energy and to feel that you're not alone, that you have that community. And what really struck me was the Henny when she was doing her performance, you know, stepped aside. And if you've ever seen Henny, she usually just sticks to the music, but she really wanted to share something personal about herself, and she felt that energy from what we were doing here with Wellness Week and sharing a really personal story, and to see everyone in the chat, you know, sending their love in that moment, and we're all kind of sharing this moment together. And I woke up the next day really thinking about what she said, and I was going through the chat, and I did take pictures of all the love that was being shared. I'm like, this is what it's about right here. It's you are not alone, that you can come here. And I would love to have this space up longer for people and have like a video running so that anytime you feel off center, that you can come to this space and it offer that. And sorry, get emotional. I got emotional the first time talking about this too, but I'm just so I'm very passionate about that. And I don't want to speak about what Henny said, but it was very personal, and it was very powerful. And I know where she's coming from. And that's exactly what this is, and my thesis in all of this. So from the build of being in virtual reality to the guided meditations that I did, it's about technology makes us more human, not less. It's always been that case. And we have this, I think, a wrong perspective of artificial versus organic. It's all within the confines of the universe, and it's all a natural progression. And technology, from the wheel to harnessing fire, it's all been a part of it. And I watched the documentary of the Y2K, and they had this lady on there, and she talked about it. She's like, there was a time when people were afraid of telephones. They did not want a telephone in their house. They also didn't want electricity in their house. They thought electricity was the devil, and they would not want electricity in their house. And so whenever new technology comes out, there's this initial fear of change. And we have to, the sooner we can overcome this fear of this new technology, and AI is one of those, as well as virtual reality. And so what I wanted to do with this is to create these guided meditations using AI voice. I used music that was AI music, and I used visuals and made patterns out of AI visuals. And then I worked with ChatGPT on writing the scripts, and all of that kind of combined in this event of saying, look how calming this can be, look how positive this can be, and we can embrace this, and it makes us better. We can, okay, say we're having an issue that we feel we can't talk to. There's going to be a time where there's AI psychologists, and they're going to be like personal helpers for you, and you're going to be able to type in your problem, and they're going to give you perspective. Now, it does that already to a certain extent. It's not to say that it's professional advice. It's definitely not at that level. So don't like seek it for actual professional advice. Definitely seek help. But I'm just saying, like, where this technology can go, and to be able to provide that is not a scary thing. Like, there are people that feel like they are alone and feel like they cannot express themselves to someone else, and they really shut in, where this can lend a listening ear, and you could do it anonymously. You know, you don't have to like tie yourself to it. And I think that's freeing. And we talked about, there was a panel, and they talked about the LGBTQ plus community coming into a virtual space where they can be free to be themselves. Maybe they are in a country where, or a place that they don't feel comfortable, that they can come out and be who they are. That a virtual space and a virtual identity allows that, and the lessening of anxiety that that can bring, and like the weight off your shoulders of being able to come in here and be who you want to be and be accepted. This community is so accepting, and you will find someone that resonates with your story. I'm sorry to get emotional again, but it's fucking true. And you'll feel that. And you'll feel it in a way that you can't feel it on a two-dimensional space. It goes beyond something that's felt on social media, which is a 2D space. And it's I also brought it to the stream because I know a lot of people can't make it in world, but having that felt by people who watched it too, they really resonated. So it was great in that sense as well, of being able to bring it in. But yeah, I can't thank you enough. And sorry to get so emotional, but yeah, it's all love. It's truly, at the end of the day, it's all love. And the community can make any platform cool. It's not the platform that makes the people cool. The people make the platform cool. Wherever you bring your energy is where it's going to go, and what people are going to feel. I don't care if that's on Spatial, on Mona, on Crypto Voxels, whatever. It is the people that make it cool, not the other way around. Wherever you bring your energy and wherever you spend your time, that's going to resonate.
Truer facts haven't been said on this space before. I'm happy it's recorded. I'm gonna take that sound bite. We're gonna make something out of it, please. And yeah, that's 100% true. It's the people in the platform that push this platform forward. In terms of like, even when we look around, like everyone expects the foundation to be the solver of our issues, or the DAO to be the solver of our issues, but in all reality, we're their saviors. We're the people that are driving it, the people of that are using the platform and bringing our friends here to it. And friends come because of the vibes. It's most definitely not because of the PS1 graphics on a powerful PC in 2024. It's because of, the people.
Well, and Blease, you said something that really, resonated. Like, people are isolated, people are, but behind the computer, there's camaraderie. And I just actually found something last night. It's a therapy group that works through Discord, but with licensed therapists, but through gaming. And so you would be put in this group, basically group therapy, but you're playing Minecraft, or there's like Minecraft, Animal Crossing, Stardew Valley. And so you just meet in once a week. You it's creative mode, so you just go in, you do some stuff, and all the while you're talking with this therapist. And I'm sure there's entry levels of like confidentiality and such like that. But what the founders of this program, they created it because they said they wanted to hit people where they already are, like Discord. Like, gamers are already on Discord, and they wanted to do it in a way that, like, I don't know if anybody's tried to get help, but like it's a nice 4-month wait, or there's just no space. Like, a lot of therapists aren't taking new clients, so right now it's just hard to get that kind of help. So what you were saying about, I think that, I've said it before, I think the metaverse and online platforms, like, there's a way to connect with people that we can't in other forms. And then also with COVID, like, at least in my area, there's a wave of people, because most people work in Seattle with like Amazon and Google. So here it's disproportionately huge amount of people working remotely. And I think that, there's people fighting. They don't want to go back to the office. They're making like 3-hour commutes to go so that they can like live remotely and work remotely. But they lose, like you said, they lose that personal connection. And so, I think a lot of people are like, oh, that's cool, I can work from home. But there are drawbacks to that. Like, and I call it the water cooler effect. Like the conversations you have when you go to the staff, when I go to the staff room looking for donuts, okay, at the school, or when I go get coffee. It's not like those moments when you really actively seek somebody out, like, hey, I need to talk right now. It's those smaller, like, organic moments where you're like, hey, how was your weekend? Like, and the person's like, yeah, it was good. And then you're like, really? Like, you sure, bud? Like, it's that, like, that we're missing when we go remote or when we are only in the metaverse. And so I hope we do more things like this, not just 1 week or 3 days a year, but I wish it was something that we were just doing also organically all the time, more often.
For sure. And there was one other thing that was Colorful's favorite part that I just want to share, that there was a hugging zone where you go in and you just automatically hug and do like the hug emote. And it kind of ties back of like you need 12 hugs a day, and it relieves like stress, and it's that connection. And see, you're right, like not seeing human faces, not seeing other people, that does have an effect, and that is missing, and kind of, it doesn't get 100% in the virtual space, but you do feel that though. And yeah, thank you. I won't take up any more time.
No, please. I mean, this is a good, I think it's important to have these conversations. We had a lot of conversations leading up to wellness, but I think it's also important to debrief and if we don't talk about what went well and what didn't go well, like, it's going to be hard to have a full like perspective to plan the next one. Because I think that, yeah, like you said, like even petting an animal releases cortisol, dopamine, and that's one of the cortisol fighters. So, like, I don't know, like I've said before, sometimes my dog wants love and I'm like, no. And then I'm like, nope, pet him. It is good for you. That's why I wish we had if I had coding skills, I would make a therapy dog for Decentraland. That's what I would do. And you could pet it. Maybe through your avatar petting it, your brain would release the same dopamine, oxytocin. Oh, and I noticed, Seed, you snuck up as a speaker. And Joe Adore is also here. So Joe, Seed, I want to hear from you. But we did have Joe come up, and Joe, you made such an amazing build for Wellness Week. I was so impressed with it. How are you doing? How did it go? Have you recovered yet from Wellness Week?
Hi, GM. Hi, everyone. It's so good to be here. No, I haven't recovered. I'm still trying to calm down. Oh my God, like I didn't expect the turnout. I didn't expect the love. I didn't expect the support. And I'm just thankful. That was one of the reasons I had to come up right now, because I had to say thank you. I don't have any other words. Just thank you, and thank you. Like, I just appreciate you all. For those who don't know, I barely joined. I don't think it's been 2 months since I joined Decentraland, and I was able to pull off Wellness Week. I'm still in shock right now. You have no idea. It's exciting how much more I can bring to Decentraland, and it's scary at the same time, but it's also exciting. So just thank you. There were lots of hiccups, but somehow I was able to just keep moving. I just knew I had to keep going, and somehow it panned out. So yeah, thank you guys.
So what was like a highlight? So what was your kind of like, standout memory of Wellness Week for you?
Oh my God. So for Wellness Week, during our event, because it was supposed to be a women's circle. Now, the thing is, women's circle was already like an existing session that happened monthly with a group of women on Google Meet, yeah? So I was trying to breach that gap with Decentraland, and I'd asked Bay, and Bay was like, yeah, we can use Google Meet instead. You just need to let people in world know they can join Google Meet. And then I was super worried because the women in the group had no idea what Decentraland was about. When I first suggested it to them, they're like, huh? What is that? And I kept trying to jump on meetings beforehand to try to onboard them. And, everybody's schedule was just over the place. Now, just before I jumped like 30 minutes, I jumped on a call 30 minutes earlier with them to try to get them in. That like just before the event. And just that I had finished onboarding them into the event, my laptop went off. Like it refused to come on. So it got a bit chaotic, but I don't know, somehow I was like, I don't know how I pulled it off that day. I don't know, but I got in touch with a lot of people and they somehow made it happen. Like Biometa, but he was the streaming service for our build, and he was amazing because he connected me through Discord to go live to be able to speak to people at our build to kind of explain what was going on and trying to like help coordinate. But that aside, another thing that stood out to me were actually the people that participated in Descent. I wasn't expecting that level of like builds, like Bliss for starters. Your installation was so amazing. Like when I actually had the time to go around, I was like, wow, like how did you even think to even come up with that? Like it's just amazing how you can use technology to achieve so many things, and then it's still amazing how people are so scared of technology when it can improve on so many things. So the fact that people are creative enough to be patient enough to still create these things for people to enjoy, honestly, I found it really amazing. There were other builds that were there, like Oogie Worlds. I was stunned with that as well. And the fact that I got to meet new people. So let's just say my 3 highlights were onboarding more people into Decentraland, and also the fact that I got to collaborate with a group of people that actually the fact that I got to collaborate with them showed their skill in Decentraland. Like Punk Pink, he designed our wearable and over 100 people collected that. I was so shocked when I saw that. So I was able to help that. And then Amanda was the architect that I worked with to design that build. And you can see how it turned out as well. And honestly, and then Biometa that streamed, and then Firefly that helps. Just the different people I got to collaborate with. I'm just happy that I'm also able to push them along in their journey and the career they hope to have in virtual worlds as well. So yeah, that's it. I really hope that I know Bliss mentioned this, but I think the builds are there for like 3 more months. If they are, I would love to offer coaching, like 15-minute coaching consultations for anyone in Decentraland who hopes to, attend that, because I already do that for Web3 communities. So I'd hope to offer that in Decentraland at our build anytime. If you just need someone to talk, that's fine. If you need someone to help you identify your goals, that's me. I'm able to do that and help you improve in any area of your life. So it has just been a really overwhelming and amazing experience. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop rambling now.
Thank you so much, Joe. I mean, you are it's inspiring because I remember when, you did just join us recently, and I've been here a long, long time and I haven't built anything in SDK, and you came in and you did, and you what is it called when you mobilize the troops? Like you made stuff happen, and you proved really what somebody coming in can do, really quickly. And I love that, and I hope you do find ways to stay active. I mean, there's no shortage of land, and so if they were to change over that plaza, which I think those end up staying quite a while, But even if they did, I mean, hopefully it's something where you could find if a landowner that would be willing to deploy and, you know, just keep it in world for a while. Or I guess one option is to deploy it to a DCL world, and that's another option. But yeah, it was beautiful. I was very impressed. And you brought in many, you know, it wasn't just you working in isolation. You worked with many different people, correct?
Yes, I did. I worked with different people that I recently just met as well. And I have to thank One Existence because, I don't know, he was so helpful and supportive along the way. And he's the one that gave me my first tour of Decentraland. And that was what made me intrigued. And the Metaverse Mondays team, I don't know, High CC, Make, Meta DJ, I have to thank them because even not for them, I really wouldn't have been motivated, and you, Canessa, to actually apply for Decentraland Wellness Week. So yes.
Okay, so what are your, even though you said you haven't recovered, what are your next plans? What's next?
Okay, so I'm just rounding off, like, okay, so I'm in another competition right now, so I'm trying to like round off with it, which is Artisan Season 3. I'm trying to get funding that would actually help me, you know, build more and accommodate more virtual, you know, wellness plans so that people around the world can join in. So that's what that's what I'm working on right now. I don't know if you guys if you can check my pin tweet or the last tweet on my profile. So I have just 2 days to round that up. So that's why I'm still in hyper mode, because I still need to be out there sort of like, you know, proving myself, because it seems, you know, yes, Web3 and virtual worlds are still, like, we're still early, but like, you know, there've been certain people who haven't exactly shown the right example. So every room I enter, I have to not just talk about it, but prove it with action as well. So that's why I'm still in like a lot of hyper mode, and I'm trying to like seek match funding to sort of like go further, to actually offer free plans to people, because we need this. We need well-being is important, and I keep saying this, but it's not just about physical, it's not just about mental, emotional, financial well-being is important. So it's not just having resources, but actually tailoring those resources to, you know, fit individual needs. So that's what I'm hoping to get funding to be able to do, and hopefully this will extend into Decentraland as well.
Well, thank you for sharing. I pinned your pinned tweet at the top. Hopefully that is the correct one. And yeah, I encourage everybody to check that out. And thank you so much for coming up and speaking today. I think there's like a really, I enjoy the vibe when we've got people up here, Blease, Joe, Seed, you know, it's just, I don't know, like it's, you guys have a really nice energy and vibe that you kind of pass along, like passionate, excited, safe. So I appreciate that. And I thank you. And on that note, Seed, good morning, good afternoon, probably by you. How are you today? Seed might have stepped away from the computer, but I'm guessing that they will be back. They're busy. Let's see. So, please, same question for you as Joe. What's next? You guys haven't even had a chance to recover, and I am totally grilling you with. Okay, now what's next? Are you doing Art Week? Like,
Yeah, I saw the like mesh art fair and stuff coming up. I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I put in a lot of effort into this and setting everything up and trying to get all the animations and stuff ready. It was a lot, and there's always unforeseen obstacles that you have to overcome that don't show up on the end. You know, all the technical issues and figuring stuff out and learning and the learning curve. So couldn't, I couldn't wrap my head around Mesh Art Fair. I would, I guess I'm finding out, I heard last night and now Joe saying that it's up for 3 months. I was not aware of that. I think that's cool. So planning something, I don't know. I'd have to look at planning something there, but I am doing some IRL things, and I'm wanting to do some hybrid events coming up. Everything I do, I want to involve a virtual space. I think that's been a lot of fun when we've done it in the past, and going to continue to do that in whatever form I can. But have an artist residency at the Campus 3.0, which is in New York City at the Oculus, where the World Trade Center is, and doing some stuff there, and doing a lot of events coming up here in 2024, starting in March. Working with this theater as well, My Theater Company, here in New York. They've been a theater for like 30 years now, and yeah, doing some stuff with them, both IRL and beyond. But they're wanting to go into like Oculus kind of stuff. So when that for Decentraland, that'd be cool. Like when we can be fully immersed in that way, I think would be awesome. But yeah, I'm gonna continue making these meditation videos. I've learned this new VJ software, which for myself has been revolutionary and very mind expanding. And I'm able to bring in stuff from Blender, stuff from After Effects into this, and now Decentraland into this, which has been awesome and something that I've played with through this week of putting the feed of Decentraland into the VJ software and able to really mix it in with my animations. So I was trying to make as much of an immersive experience for when you're there, that you're part of this animation, you're part of this visually. And I hope that came across in these events, and hope to do that more, and do that in a way that also immerses the IRL event that's going on, that will be going on. And with this wearable, I created yoga clothes because that's what I've been doing IRL for years. I create yoga mats, yoga leggings, tops, sports bras and stuff, and I love creating that. I think women's fashion especially I've been drawn to, because there's more that you can do than you can with guys clothing. Guys clothing for me is just boring. I don't know why. Like just like yeah, I don't even like, I'm not even making this for me to wear. I'm just making this for video shoots that I want to do, and I want whoever's in it to be wearing my stuff. And if people outside of that like it, then great, you're supporting this. But it's ultimately for these IRL video shoots. And the fact that I can bring this into Decentraland like this has been very profound. And I'm loving like just walking around and just seeing people rocking it. That to me is just everything. And yeah, so creating more of that.
That sounds awesome. It sounds like like you'll be busy for a while. Joe?
Yeah, I was thank you for that, please. There was something please said about Oculus, not like Decentraland is not there, because okay, so I walk from this tech hub here in my hometown, Katuna, and they got like devices for the guys where they like play like their PS5s and all of that, and they were like asking me what should we get for the ladies, and I'm like, you know what, we need like some Oculus sets because I want people to get more into the virtual world, hoping Decentraland was on it. So I just need to reconfirm we can't access Decentraland yet with that.
That's a good question. Wow, crickets. So if anybody wants to jump in, feel free to. I think there is a way to access it. So a company got a DAO grant to build out our VR, our virtual reality aspect of it, and then they got another grant, and so I guess they struggled to just get it done. Obviously, like, VR is really complicated. Scott, do you want to? Yeah, you're probably going to articulate it maybe better than I.
Well, I don't know about that. I just know, having followed them on the DCL DAO Discord, having downloaded a couple of versions of it and run it off of my Oculus Quest 2. I used to tell people that Decentraland does exist on a mobile device, and it's the Oculus. There were many issues with it. The fact that Oculus is, although they're trying to get lots of people to develop for it, it's still a closed system, and it was often being updated. So was Decentraland. So anytime one of those entities would push through an update, it would break stuff. But I know that CJ Trax went into Decentraland on an Oculus. So that's the the mobile device. There was also a version, a PC VR version. So you'd have to have like a cable connected from your headset to your PC in order to run it. But there is no current development, and part of the reason why that has not gone forward is because of the announcement from the foundation. At least this is my understanding. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. That they were redesigning the client, and in one of the AMAs, I don't know who asked it. Maybe it was me or somebody else asked the question if there was going to be support, VR support, and that was not part of the plan. And somebody mentioned the DAO grant where they were doing the Q2, the Quest 2 Oculus development, so that didn't go forward. It is really expensive. I think $250,000 got spent through the DAO for that.
I think it was $500,000.
Okay, $500,000. It was a lot of money.
Just $500,000,
Yeah. So yeah, I would say, short answer, Joe, right now, no. Long answer, and I have a super long thread in answer to Spotty Wi-Fi, who posted something about, go to Decentraland. It's a great marketplace to build a VRM that you can bring into Nifty Island. And I articulated a lot of thoughts why I think we need to be more collaborative in this space, and I think Decentraland has a better model for collaboration and for longer term. And I just think it's going to take time. So currently, right now, no. But if you want to do a VR space for your clients, you can check out Spatial. You could check out CryptoVoxels. You could even check out Hubs, which is through the Mozilla Foundation, and that's like completely free, open, and accessible. And that's what I use to teach, as young as third graders, how to build and navigate through a 3D space.
That's where I started. Building, was on Hubs. That was my first virtual space that I built, and I still have it, is on Hubs.
No, it's great. I mean, you build in spokes, and then you deploy it to Hubs, and you can token gate it, you can password protect it. It's it's a great onboarding environment.
Wow. Thank you, Scott and Blaze and Knesser. And okay. It's going to make me go back to the drawing board to try and itemize another way to go about this. But with regards to Art Week, no, I would not be participating there. But a member of my team for Wellness Week, that's Amanda, the architect, she will be taking on a proposal herself for Art Week. So I expect you're going to have a really amazing build from her there if a proposal is accepted. I did send in a proposal for Mesh, but I don't know. It's a pretty sophisticated panel curating artists. So let's see how it goes. If it happens, it happens. If not, well.
Oh, don't be afraid of the panel, Joe. Joe, don't be afraid of the panel. Sorry, Kenneth, I didn't mean to talk over you.
No, no.
I know that Bay is she's an amazing I'd say artist and curator in and of herself. And I think what she's doing is she's attempting to get people at the forefront, you know, not just of the technology, but of the understanding of the space. And if you have any idea or inklings of, you know, some sort of innovative process or presentation of your work, it's the ideal space for you. Don't be intimidated by the caliber of people there. I would say be welcomed and comforted by it, because yeah, one of the people who's very uniquely connected to the art space and this virtual space. Somebody else who I think is akin to that would be Gigi, who used to be with Decentraland Foundation. And those are some really powerful people to work with and work through in this case. So I can't encourage you enough to hopefully see past that hesitation and yeah, to submit something. I really want to encourage you, just considering what you've done already. I know you've got a lot on your plate, so you know, definitely do you and what works best for you. But oh my goodness, I can only imagine how well your art and your ideas will blossom in that type of.
Thank you, Scott. I really appreciate that. The panel is intimidating. I have to say that again.
And Joe, I had the same feelings. So it's not just you. I was looking through the panel judges and I was like, dang, like, okay, this is not this. We've left Kansas. This is the real deal. So if you and I are both feeling that, you know, that is definitely a valid feeling. But hopefully, yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'll be your cheerleader. Push through it. Do it if you can. I know that last year, Scott, Nikki Fuego and I helped out with Mesh Art Week, and it was just nice to see the artists, you know, create their stuff, and it was definitely doable. So if I'm saying that for anybody else in the crowd that is thinking about it, and a reminder, Mesh is very different than Art Week. It's just Mesh is yeah, actually very totally different organization, but Bay happens to be facilitating both of those at the same time. Mesh is where you have I believe it's a one parcel. You get this white box that your avatar walks up into the box. Everybody gets that same thing, and then you design the insides of that box in a 3D art and make it your own. And then Art Week is totally different. It's more like wellness, where they're going to have, like, you know, 4-piece parcels that people can apply to get other kind of, you know, venues, yeah, stuff like that. So I'm not sure if they'll have I know sometimes they've had really big kind of art exhibits that you can experience. So I'll be curious to see what that is. And I think it's April. It's like late March, early April, I believe. I'll have to look up the dates on that.
Thanks, Ganesser. And what stood out to me for Art Week that's coming up is that the parcels are bigger. You know, for Wellness Week, the gold category had like 3x3. For Art Week, there are no categories and it's just 4x4. So it's going to be huge. And I can't wait to see, you know, how it all pans out. I'm actually excited to see what other people, the proposals that are selected and the people who get to build as well. But thank you. For the encouragement.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, you know, try it if it's your thing. I'm gonna do something for Art Week this year. I'm gonna try, fingers crossed. So I'm also, you know, forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone and like, yeah, put some art out there, because it's something that I haven't done here yet. Like, so, and I'm like scared and also just like, oh my gosh, it's probably so much work, but you know, that's what you got to do. I'm inspired by everything everybody else does, and so it's time to get busy, time to get to work. But yeah, I'll be your cheerleader.
Oh, you're gonna do great, and you're gonna have a lot of support. And I can't wait to see what you put out. You're gonna do absolutely amazing.
Well, I find that like I've been hard on myself because I haven't been like a digital artist, like wearables. I mean, when I first kind of started, I was like, oh gosh, I'm gonna learn how to make a wearable. Like I should do it next week or next month. And then like 2 months went by, 3 months, and everybody's creating these cool wearables. And I tended to kind of get hard on myself, like, oh, you're not good enough because you haven't put out a wearable. You haven't learned how to 3D model that. And at some point along the way, I just kind of accepted that, like, no, I haven't, and I might not. Like, I'm doing other stuff. I'm making 3D builds and I'm making emotes. And what I finally just came back to is like traditional 2D art, like drawing and painting and wood cutting and Sharon Schnitt and the things that I know. And so returning to that felt good. Like, rather than just feel like I'm not good enough because I haven't adapted my skills to Web3, I'm just gonna do what I'm gonna do what makes me happy. In fact, that's what I'm gonna do. So that's what you got to do. Keep yourself, grounded like that.
I like that. I like that. I like that you're able to trust yourself on this. That's a really good place to be right now. A lot of people want to be in that place. And I'm glad that you're able to go back, like, to the simple things. That's the core part of you. So yeah, going back there just to remind yourself, and then, figure out your next point on the map. It's nice to return home and then go out again. Nice to return home. It's part of the journey. I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can all be, wandering around Art Week and each other's builds, and I think that'll be really, really cool. So I look forward to it. And I see let's see, Seed, you jumped down and then you're back up. How are you? Is your mic working today?
I think so.
Yay! how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Yes. Hello. I am doing good. I'm actually painting. I'm covered in paint. But other than that, I just wanted to everyone knows you're here. I just what was I gonna say? Regroup my brain here. I just wanted to say, like, that was amazing. Hello. Like, the whole thing was just so perfect, like, in every way. And I didn't even notice any mistakes or anything like that. I mean, I think you guys are just a little too hard on yourselves. Like, everything was amazing. Everything. And the vibes were totally there. I felt so accepted and just, I just felt good vibes. Like, it just felt really good. It gave me that feeling that I get when I'm at like a music festival. And I haven't felt that in a long time. So to be able to feel that in a virtual space is just so intense. That's kind of like that's my intention with creating space, like a creative space overall, is to create a place where everyone feels, you know, just welcome. Like everything Blee said, basically multiply that by like 100. I think that's what's so special, and combining technology and spirituality and bringing those two forces into one is, I would say, one of the most amazing things I've ever experienced. Really, it's like so I don't know, it's just, it hits that spot. And it comes from a genuine place too, which makes it even more epic. Like, it didn't feel like corporate, or like, it didn't feel like, I don't know, it didn't feel virtual. It felt real. Like, I felt like I was really there and just hanging out with everyone. And the talks were really great, and I'm glad they were all recorded, because I might have missed like parts of some of them. So I'm excited to like go back and be able to kind of re-experience those things. I'm glad that everything is kind of accessible for even people just who haven't been there, that might discover it. Um, I think it's definitely something that I wish we had it every day. I know like a few people were saying that. We're just like, can we have wellness day like every day? Like, that should be like a permanent structure, in Decentraland, just kind of an element of the overall space so that if people want to go check it out, like they can go check it out, or if they want to go play games, they can play games. But it's nice to have like a combination of all the different elements out there for different purposes. Like everybody has kind of like a different thing that they're interested in, or a mood that they're in. Maybe they might not always be in the mood to go play games, and it just might want to just go and like do a little spiritual sponge bath. Which it was just like it was so cleansing too. And I mean, everybody's voice is so soothing and relaxing. It was just I definitely had an out of body experience during that programming. It was just super cool. And I really loved every single part of it. I mean, I can't say it enough. Like everything about it was just perfect. Yeah, so I was actually like had this crazy idea to revive like the idea of a drum circle, but like a virtual drum circle, and like make, you know, somehow figure out a way to make drums that people can play in a circle, and have like a virtual drum circle every month on the full moon or something. Those are like drum circles or something that I used to always go to every single month for so many years. And I think that that would be a really cool thing if we could figure that out. So if anyone wants to figure that out, or, I don't know like how that would be possible, but it's an idea. Uh,
See, I live in the mountains. It would be so cool to like go up, hike in the mountains, and like somehow, like with a camera, broadcast that live. So then, like, like you're in New York City. I feel like everybody in the city needs nature therapy. So I don't know how that happened, but or just put mountains on a screen, I guess.
yeah, no, it would be super cool. And the hand, I think it's called like hand panning, or I forget. It's a type of drum, but there is somebody on the screen playing the hand pan. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Hang drum or hand pan, yeah.
Yeah, that was amazing too. I really enjoyed it. And I finally figured out how to stream onto X, but my videos aren't, they're not like perfected or anything. There's like moments where I had like the wrong, screen up and stuff like that. But I think I can go back and edit them. The X producer or whatever it's called is actually really cool. I just finally figured it out. So I'm excited to like just go around and start getting everything into a stream. I think that would be really cool. Of course, more the merrier. Uh, and what was the one other thing I wanted to bring up? I don't know. It just like I got a little sidetracked there, but um, something. Yeah, I can't remember. It'll come back to me if anyone has anything they wanna get in there as well. My brain just went poop.
Well, maybe we could pass it back to Blease. We are like a little over time, but do you think we can make it happen, Blease?
Oh yeah, it went off while everyone was talking, but I didn't want to interrupt. But yeah, the daily gratitude alarm went off, and I just want to just say I'm grateful for everybody who's here. It's a daily reminder to just zoom out. Be grateful for where you are, right here, right now. You're right where you need to be in life, whether you can see it or not, whether you can appreciate it or not. This is right where you need to be along your indefatigable journey, going along your path. And it's at 1 2 3 because it's a reminder that it's one step at a time, and it's a reminder to say what you have to say while you have the ability to say it. There'll always be more thoughts than spoken words, just as there will always be more ideas than time. Right now, is the only time there is, and it's infinite. Past and future are illusions that live in the mind. Say it now, do it now, for if not now, when? Use this daily gratitude alarm to change your perception. What you may perceive as bad may turn out to be a gift, a lesson learned. So embrace it all. You woke up today. With that simple act, you are already more resilient than the day before if you choose to see it. Pick up a writing utensil. Let the universe know how you feel it. Pick up a brush. Let the universe know how you see it. Pick up an instrument. Let the universe know how you hear it. Pick up a camera. Let the universe know how you perceive it. Pick up yourself. Let the universe know how you can help it. And that's the message we like to spread on these daily gratitude alarms. But yeah, it went off while we were in here, and I just want to say I appreciate everybody.
We appreciate you, Blease, and yeah, thank you for sharing your daily gratitude. As you were sharing it literally felt as if I were listening to one of your podcast episodes. And let's see, Seed, has the thought popped back up?
Not exactly, but other
How
thoughts.
about new thoughts? Yeah.
I was like, more ideas are just flowing through my brain. But yeah, I mean, I know we're a little bit over time. I can't believe that much time already went by. Your voices always put me in that state of meditative bliss. So thanks for that. You guys always fill the void with amazing energy. I really love it, and I hope I can share more of Decentraland with more people. I do remember actually, I was like trying to figure out like if I went and did some like guerrilla marketing and just like went to the city and passed out like I don't know handmade flyers. Do you guys think that that would be like something the Decentraland people would be okay with, or is there like a certain way that I need to do it? Like, you
Seed,
know.
I'm an ask for forgiveness, not for permission kind of person. So, there is the ambassador program, and that's like the official channel to go through. But I think if you were gonna like print something up and try to encourage people to check something out of Decentraland, I mean that's part of the beauty and open nature of Decentraland. I'd say go for it.
Yeah, I just like see, can I just like give you a hug? The idea that you like I can see, oh my god, I can see you walking around New York giving people flyers to come to Decentraland, and like you restore faith in me that like, oh my gosh, you are amazing. And I like hopefully we always have the freedom to do what we want, like as pertaining to our parcels in Decentraland. So like I don't see why there'd be any problem with that. On the official side, I can tell you what fonts to use. I can send you the link to the press kit, and so that the fonts match up. But I mean, there'd be anybody that would have a problem with that. I would just want to know what the real problem is. So yeah, I think you could definitely do that. I mean, with the social login, making it easier for people to log in now, like. That is another hurdle, hopefully, that we've kind of softened out. And you're much closer to the action, so you probably have a better idea of like what, like if I did that in my town, like people NFTs, no, they'd be like, nah, what are you talking about? But you being in where you're located, you have a better feel for like, especially during NFT NYC, like would people be open to that? Would they be like, yeah, receptive and log in? And then everything from there, where would they go? How would we, because I think that's part of it too, is making sure that they come in, but then don't just get lost in the sauce that we have. Like, come here, come to this spot, we'll give you free donuts, free wearable donuts. But I still want you. I still want to help you do that.
Yeah, I wanna flyer the town. I mean, I know, like, it's not exactly environmentally friendly to use paper, but there's always ways around it. I mean, of course, it's probably a little bit more expensive to use flower paper, but there is, like, paper with seeds in it, so people can, like, grow wildflowers too out of it, you know? Uh,
Oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. I like made a whole series of paper lotuses out of that paper, and I would leave them out for people to find, and if they didn't find them, they would get rained on and then they would like grow actual flowers. So super cool.
Isn't that there's a name for that? It's guerrilla, not gorilla, but guerrilla, like guerrilla farming or guerrilla.
Yeah, like seed bombs and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
yeah. I used to. My students made seed bombs and then sold them as a classroom business years ago. So there you go, seed. I don't know. It'd be so cool if you did that.
yeah, I used to do that back in the day with my gallery flyers because I was always like, I don't know, like this is so awkward wasting this paper. So I found this company that does it. So maybe we can, I don't know, figure that out. I don't know if it's feasible financially, but that was like over 20 years ago. I don't even remember like what happened to that company, but I'm sure there's tons of people that make that stuff, or maybe I can make it myself. But yeah, I feel like that would be super cool. Uh, it's just a space where I feel a lot of different types of people would love it, and it works absolutely fine. I didn't crash one time. There was no technical issues really, other than my computer dying because I forgot to plug it in at one point. Um, but yeah, other than that, like it it was just like a dream. I was like, "Oh my God, my computer hasn't crashed." It hasn't been crashing at all for like, I don't know, like a few weeks now. I also downloaded Madamus helped me find this like what is it? It's like a virus app or something, and it finds like if there's any viruses or malware or anything like that. And I did that. I went through my whole computer and it found like a few things, and it, I don't know the technical term, but it isolated it or something. And then ever since then, my computer's like working really, really well. It's almost like I have a new computer. So I think that was the problem. So yeah, definitely if you're having issues with your computer, um, find like a good malware app or something. It might do the trick. You'd be surprised. Even Macs can get infected. So yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you, Joe.
Sorry, this is off topic, but please, yeah, sorry. I just had to check because we're all busy with our bills. I did visit everybody's own, but I don't think I claimed everybody's wearable or emote. Did you have one? And also, were you able to get one from me? Because if you didn't get from mine, I can shoot one over to you, our hoodie set, and I want yours as well. So yeah, please let me know.
Yes, definitely. And I hear you on that. I was like on the last day, I'm like, okay, I gotta like venture out because there's all those wearables and emotes that I just felt like I didn't have time to check. So definitely hear you on that, and we'll send you one. Um, DM me your ETH address, or anyone on Twitch, go to Twitch, Sinful's Twitch, and drop your ETH address if you're on Twitch. Or DM me.
Thank you.
Yeah, but DM me.
All right.
This has been such a relaxing conversation this week. I'm really happy, to have the individuals that have come up and shared today. Really happy to have all the listeners that are here today, all our friends. I mean, it's been a hell of a week, and we just got to keep keep doing the thing. Kanessa, you were asking about Art Week. What week is Art Week? I feel like it's close, or is it Mesh Art Fair that I'm
Well,
thinking?
I think they're in conjunction with each other. Let me look that up real quick, if I can look it up quick. I know Bay has posted. Sorry, I'm like talking and trying to think at the same time. I can't think and talk at the same time. Definitely can't do that. I don't know, but I'll just tell you this. Today is the last day for the open call for the Mesh Fair. So, again, that's different, but I think it's held at the same time. Let's see. 26th of March, it looks like. 26th to the 29th of March. And I think that's held at the same time as Art Week, so I'll confirm, but I think that's when it is. Late March.
Ooh, okay. So we have a little bit of time.
Yeah, but if you're a builder, that's not enough time, because probably most of they're going to start in like March 15th.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I'm like, no, this is not enough time.
I mean, a lot of us here in this room kind of know what it's like to like come together 2 weeks before something and making it happen 2 weeks later. A hint at our CBD 1 year event last year, which, yeah, hey, we're in a new year. Year two is coming up faster than we think. I saw the event listing from last year that is still up for this year, and it gets me thinking, like, maybe we should start working on this earlier than than we did last year.
We probably should, we probably should. We'll see. I mean, I think part of that was I felt like inspired by the Decentraland birthday party. Felt just like they put the cake in the freezer last year and then they just pulled it out and gave us the same cake as last year. I'm sorry, but they did. And like, I don't know. I am all for cake and I will eat recycled, upcycled birthday cake. But I feel like there needed to be more. I don't think there was any official celebration for Decentraland's birthday from the foundation, because I think that they were I don't know why. I think there was a conference at the same time, possibly. So ideally that would be celebrated a little bit more.
So I've also kind of, now that I brought up the birthday party, I did just realize that the 25th, which would be the 2 year for community building Decentraland of May, that may be like around the same days as the summit. So maybe we might have to make some adjustments there as well.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right, well, good for you to look at the calendar in advance. I usually look at it like the week in advance. So you're a planner. And I can't find the dates anywhere. I'm just gonna assume that since Mesh Fair is happening at the same time, that it is whatever I said, 27th.
Kanessa?
Yeah.
I don't know if this has changed, but I found the blog post about the different monthly events, and then I pinned it to the Jumbotron. And here, at least, it says Art July 2024.
No, that's not true, and I'm frustrated because that is something that I don't think most of the community knows, that Art Week is not then, and Fashion Week, usually that happens in March. Fashion Week has been moved to September. And there was one AMA back in November, the All Hands, where they announced this, and it has not been made public anywhere else. So it's like, I know big wearable creators in the space that I've reached out to and been like, Fashion Week's not happening this month, like that's when it normally does, and they were not aware. So I think everybody should go go back, tune into those all hands. There's another one next week. It's the foundation does them every 8 weeks. They're on an 8-week cycle, and that information is on there. So
Okay, so this blog post is incorrect in
it is
many respects.
it is incorrect, and it has not, to my knowledge, it has not been updated. And so Fashion Week is in September. Art has been moved up to March. And then there are some months that will have nothing. So like that original blog post has something going every month. And the all hands that I watched, it was the November one, said that just to, give people more time to plan, they're not going to have a event every month or a theme every month.
Okay, well, I'll pull my post down then. Thank you.
No, it's good. I mean, I think these things do need to be discussed. I think that these things take time. They take many months to plan. And personally, if I was planning something for Fashion Week in March, I'd be surprised to find out it's in September. It also, I think as a community, it's a tentpole event that does bring in a lot of new users. And so if that's not happening and then it's moved to September, which is really close to November, the other tentpole event that, in history has brought in a lot of new users. So I don't know, it might just be it might be a sleepy spring, a sleepy winter, like as far as big events. However, at the same time, I'm kind of embracing that. And like I said last week, right now, if they're going to rebuild the client, the Explorer, if they're going to start from scratch, then I think we kind of need to approach these next 6 months as like our like if we had a hotel and it's under renovation, like I would almost just put up signs that say under construction right now, like instead of thinking, oh, everything should work perfectly, maybe just be like, hey, right now, like this is the time to build, this is the time to
I've got a great idea. I've got this awesome animated GIF that's got black and yellow tape, and it's got a little guy with a hammer and a shovel. And I put it up on my website back in 1995. It says under construction. Do you think we could use that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I like, just mentally, I would take on that that perspective that right now is just a good time to build, and then fingers crossed that when the new Explorer is released, that it kind of helps alleviate some of the problems that we all have come to grow and love. But I mean, so again, like that is coming from the announcement made by Yamal, like talking about the forward momentum and the movement of Decentraland, that in order to get to those places, we have to rebuild, really start from the ground up. And like, it's frustrating to be at that point, but it's also good to be like, to like cut your losses, like understand I've taken this as far as I can on my own. I gotta make some improvements or I'm never gonna get there. Like the VR, like Joe was talking about, we need that. We need these things. I mean, we don't need them, but if we're going to be remotely competitive and remotely what Decentraland set out to be, we need them. If we're just going to be a cool place where 30 people meet and party, a couple times a week, then we don't. But I still think that the VR component, that was what interested me here. And so I hope it comes, but it's like we can't just jump from here to the third story. We've got to take it one step at a time to get there. But yeah, definitely next Wednesday I will find the tweet, but I think people, like it's if we're not listening to these all hands either live when they're happening or later after they've been recorded, I mean, there's a lot of nuggets of information in there that probably need to be broken down and like conveyed to the community in a more deliberate way, especially something like this. So maybe I'll do a recap of the all hands next week after it happens.
I found the tweet or the X post from the Mesh Fair account and pinned it up to the top. So that has the open call, which is I think today is the last day, as you said. So that has the date on it. Deadline January 27th. Meshfair.com if you want more information. And I know Bay has made herself available to answer questions if anybody has further questions from that perspective.
Awesome, thank you. And I am going to look this up. I'm going to try to find the all hands and post that. So if you guys want to chit chat, because I think I'm going to have to dig a little bit for it.
All I have to say is I love my friends. I'll take that awkward silence moment to kind of say it. And yeah, remind everyone, if you haven't dropped into my Twitch and dropped your wallet address, make sure to do so, and Blease will send some wearables over your way. Oh, I see Nistu in the Twitch chat. If yeah, if you drop your wallet address, we'll send you some wearables, bro. So, what's coming this week? Is there anything exciting? I know that is there a Dead Reckoning on tomorrow? Tomorrow? Is it tomorrow?
There is, yes. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. I think it's what is it? 5 p.m., 6 p.m. UTC, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time, and we'll meet in the Dead Reckoning space. But most importantly, we'll be on the CBD server. Simply because we've had some growing pains with the DCL cast, but yeah, it will be tomorrow. Look for it in the events calendar for Decentraland. Look for look for the post on X and also and CBD. Yes. Oh, and we'll be covering streaming video. It'll be a technical discussion about streaming video into Decentraland. I'm not going to cover DCL Cast. We did that on a previous Dead Reckoning session. This is going to be more specifically to parcels in Genesis City, and yeah, just the requirements and what people have available to them to make that happen. More in a beginner and advanced beginner level.
Nice. I mean, if there's anything that I can do to help, just you know how to reach me.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if that's you volunteering to come up and be a guest speaker, then I would love to have you.
It actually was me volunteering.
Cool. Yeah. Well, if you can make it, we would love somebody with your depth and breadth of experience to come in and talk. I'm coming at it from one perspective, but we would love to have somebody with your perspective for sure. And we'd love to have you.
Okay, cool. I'll pop in. I'll definitely be there. Did you have a tweet out for this event? I'm trying to look. Okay, it's not pinned to the top. If you do have a tweet, or Vanessa, if you have a tweet, pin it up at the top and also drop it down in the comments.
Okay, I did pin a link at the top, the tweet to the all hands meeting where they did make the theme change for 2024. So just it's at the 40-minute and 44-second mark. So this year, January is wellness, February there is no theme, March is art, April there is no theme, May it just says DCL Summit, June gaming, July and August there is no theme, September is fashion, October there is no theme, November is music, and December there is no theme.
Looks like I'm gonna take over April for High Mew month theme, and then I'll take over August for Mew birthday bash month. I'll just claim the whole month for birthday Mew. I see your hand up, Seed. Take it away.
Yeah, so I was just looking at the events section on the Decentraland site, and I was trying to find the event that's going on tonight. Is it not up in the events section, or am I confused and I'm mixing it up with a different night, or is it like invite only or something?
Which one is it? Sorry, Seed. What is it that you're asking about?
Tonight, are there any events going on in Decentraland tonight?
ABC is having a tour tonight at 6 p.m.
Got it.
Yep, and Canessa, are you hosting something with Buffalo at 5 p.m. today?
Yes, I
Eastern?
am. I was like, okay, wait, I gotta find the time before I say it. I think it is our last time of doing the bull, the mechanical bull, here in Decentraland. So if you want to ride that bull, if you haven't ridden it yet, there are prizes that are going to be given out. So anybody that can stay on the bull, the longer you can stay on, the winner, whoever stays on the longest, gets the prizes. It looks like he's got the BOTV skull, some lays, tuxedos, pang packs. So quite a few giveaways as well.
Oh, and that's right. I was confused. There is an open mic from 4 to 9 UTC with Crow, the Beat Street Saturdays, I guess. That's going to be at the Troop Band Room. I remember that, but I thought there was another like event with a DJ going on tonight, but maybe I was mistaken.
Weren't you going to do Saturdays?
I was
Okay.
Saturday.
I was like, I thought you were
going, but I don't know. I think I just got really confused, and some of the artists that were gonna play like last week just never showed up. Some of them were not feeling well, and I don't know what happened, but I don't know. I was thinking of just doing something anyway. After all the stuff that's going on already, and just making it happen. I don't know. I was gonna just DJ, but if anyone wants to come and play, feel free. I'm totally down to do something. I just kind of got a little overwhelmed with everything else that was going on this week. But yeah, I'm trying to do like solid Saturday nights, late nights, DJ type of thing. So if anyone ever wants to be part of that, you're totally welcome. Just let me know.
go ahead.
Is that the call for the DJ Canessa Mariana duo to finally debut?
Oh my gosh, yeah, we'd rip it up, our mad skills.
Sometimes you just gotta just throw yourself in there. I have the same problem. I just get so nervous when I'm like gonna DJ because I'm scared I'm gonna mess up. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of just doing it. Like even if you may not completely know how to do it, it's better to learn live than to, practice behind closed doors. And like I feel like you just never get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm ready. So I'm all down for DJ Canessa and DJ Mariana to come and, crush it. I think you guys would really enjoy it. All it is just sharing music you like, really, That's all it is.
Well, mine is all done on I'm sure you're familiar with the brand VTech. It's the VTech Kitty mixer. And so I think Mariana actually has like a real mixer. But I would try. Mine has like a built-in light system and scratch pads. So yeah, a long time ago, I really wanted to get into like DJing, but I actually loved like the audio, like the visual stuff behind the scenes, like getting all of that time to music. My brother was a DJ, and so I would like, steal his fog machine remote and then set up all the lights and stuff. And when you're at like like that was back when raves were a little bit more, a little less legal, like it ain't a rave unless it's somewhere like in a warehouse. And like, oh my gosh, just the smell of the fog in my, like, when you get that scented fog and it's like strawberry scented and like inflames your whole sinuses and you just can smell it the next day. Like, oh, those were good times. I once was at a rave and there was this band playing and I was like, my friends were like, do you want to go see them? And I was like, no, their name is stupid, the Black Eyed Peas. Like, I'm not gonna walk 100 feet to go listen to a band called the Black Eyed Peas, and so in hindsight I should have walked, because they kind of blew up after that. So yeah, it was really like the Black Eyed Peas before they got big.
That's epic. I love that. Yeah, I used to go to raves in this warehouse in Brooklyn. They were called Black Cat parties, and it was super, super fun. It reminds me of Decentraland, actually. It was like you'd go into a room and there'd be like all these installations and like this weird guy with a gas mask on, and then there's like strobes going off and you're like, oh my god, where am I? And you get like lost in this warehouse. And I really, I love that whole like combination of music with art and good vibes. I love it all. Gotta bring that back.
Yeah, it is a lot like it, because I have a similar experience where I was at like a GABA concert, and like GABA is, I think, like 180 BPM. So you're just, I mean, yeah, like your heart just wants to explode. And I just remember like, oh, what was it, AK 1200, and I couldn't even move. Normally you're dancing at this place was so packed. I was like almost just convulsing, because that was all I could do, is just kind of like move my body around. But there was this rabbit with like white gloves, glow sticks in their gloves, and they came up and like, did like a little nice light show in my face. And so that's a lot like Decentraland, because that's the only other place that, maybe like a cosplay convention, but yeah, where you could have just like totally norm to have a rabbit come and give you a personal light show. That's what we need, a rabbit hand light show, like a raver hand light show that goes in your face, like an emote that, like, Dr. Drip made those gloves, and those are exactly what I'm talking about. Dr. Drip knows.
So would any of your opinions change of me if I told you that back in my rave days I was one of those weirdos with the glowy gloves?
No, not at all. No. I had a few glow sticks break in my mouth because I had this retainer that you could put glow sticks in, and then your mouth would glow. And I was like, damn
it. Oh god.
Doesn't taste good. I've also had that happen, and I don't know if it did anything to me, but it tasted like probably not good, but now we have LEDs. But I feel like people still use glow sticks. They're just different.
The kids nowadays, man, back in my day,
we're getting radiation poisoning from our
You just break that glow stick, you cut it open, you slather that stuff all over your skin, and life is good.
Remember how much that shit used to burn?
Yeah, I remember it stained all my clothing from that party too, because then the next day I'm like, dang it, like it doesn't show up when it's glowing, but afterwards like you can't wash it out.
So to your Black Eyed Peas story, I guess I kind of have something like that, but not like, it's like not it was more like I didn't realize who the person was. Like back in 2016, I went to this this was before marijuana was medical here in Florida. there was a super illegal freaking weed festival going on in Miami. Just like, in the middle of Wynwood, you would just see like a cloud of smoke like coming off of this venue, and like cops everywhere, but they wouldn't go or bust it or anything, which is weird. And so at that festival, there was a performance by a gentleman that goes by the name of Damian Marley. And anyone that doesn't know Damien, Damian Marley is Bob Marley's son. And so So I freaking was at this festival, and Damien was performing at the festival. So, in the hours leading up to his performance, everyone was just vibing, going around, smoking, meeting each other, and all that. And I somehow ended up in a circle with Damien, and like right next to him, and he and I were like smoking a blunt together. And, I just saw him as this regular dude that I just met. And then little did I know later on that night, he's on stage singing. and then
No
of course,
way.
yeah, and then of course, then later in like 2017, 18, like he had a small blow up with like different collaborations, like that song Road to Zion and stuff like that. So yeah.
That's awesome. That happened to me with Tenzing Norgay's son, the first person to climb Mount Everest, his son. Like, we were going to listen to him speak, and we decided to go get like Nepalese food right beforehand. And so we're in there, and we see this guy walk in and like talk to the owners, and we're like, like, okay, kind of looks familiar. And then like an hour later, he's the guy talking. Like, his dad was with Sir Edmund Hillary. So it is funny how, you just see these people. Who knows, like, honestly, who knows how many people you've seen in your life that, like, I saw Nicolas Cage at Disneyland once. That dude is way tall. And I'm just like, I just kept walking. I'm like,
Did you smoke a blunt?
No, but I did with Woody Harrelson and not Helen Hunt, and Giovanni Ribisi back in 2002. They were filming the movie The Big White, and up in Alaska where I worked, we would have all these movie crews come through because it stays white all year. So all these movie crews that want to film winter scenes, if you look at a lot of movies, they all look the same because the summit is like 10 miles away from Skagway where I worked, and so the film crew was there. Oh, and Robin Williams. I almost yelled at him. Good thing I didn't. I thought he was somebody else. But anyway, yeah, like Woody Harrelson had this drum circle in this saloon and bought everybody there a shot. It was cool. Like, he was, obviously, Woody is pretty down to earth. Like, so it's funny. Yeah, little stories like that along the way, the people you meet.
I know, right? Blease, did your hand go up accidentally, or did you also have kind of a story like that?
No, that's really cool. And I had a similar story with Kamani Marley, who, I mean, Bob Marley has what, like 20, 30 kids, probably more. But he's got a lot. But Damien, I think, is the most famous of them all. And yeah, um, I actually, I think I know where you were too. I keep wanting to call it Wood Tavern, but you would go in the back, right? And they'd pretty much just leave you alone in the back of this bar. Um, but you say back of the bar, but it's like this huge space right in Wynwood. And yeah, for a long time they really wouldn't mess with Wynwood too much.
Yeah, the cops would be right outside with their lights on, like busting drunk people for being drunk in public. But there was like a pot festival right inside in the building. Miami's funny. Miami's funny.
Yeah, I met Kamani. He wrote a book called Dear Dad, and I have his signed book here. That's where I met him. That was in Atlanta. Good vibes.
Oh shit, that's dope. That's dope. You know you got the memory. You have the heirloom. Sorry, I took a step outside here. It's a beautiful day in Florida. Finally, the sun is out.
Yeah, you guys have been getting dumped on by all the rain, I think, for the last like week or something, right?
We have. It's just been either if it's not cloudy, it's rainy. So that's kind of been what we have been dealing with here in Florida. Canessa's probably like, hold my beer. I have snow. It's still snowing.
Yeah, I mean, there's no new snow, but it's just it's like damp snow. It's bad, but at least it's not 15 below zero because that, actually I don't mind that either. I just hate dirty snow. Like March is such a dirty month. That's when because they put sand on the snow all winter to keep you from sliding around. So then by March it's just dirty snow, and then the sand insulates it, so then it doesn't melt. It just sits there forever.
Watch out where the huskies go. Don't you eat that yellow snow.
Thank you for that, Scott.
Little Zappa for you old timers out there.
I wanted to actually I have this new friend that might have left. Man, I just messed him. I just missed him. He was here just a second ago. I was gonna give him a shout out because I was hoping to onboard him to Decentraland. He was here the whole time, but it's okay. I'm
Oh.
and hopefully get him to come out.
Speaking of someone that you've onboarded, on Monday, I believe, I got the opportunity to meet Floating Spaces. Are you
Oh,
familiar? Are you familiar with them?
yes, yeah. She's played at Seed before.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. I love that girl.
Yes, yeah, she is. She joined the CBD Discord like last Monday, and I don't know, like from the first moment, event went live. I had to be on the NFT that night, and she joined into the stage audience, and was listening and asking questions, and was really engaged, and like wanting to know more about like what we are doing here in Decentraland.
Yeah, that's super epic because I've been telling her to check out all the stuff that's going on. And when she DJ'd, I don't think she was able to come to Decentraland. I'm not too sure, but yeah, I've been telling her like, come on out. It's totally possible, and now I think it's even more of a smoother login process for people. So I think we're like finally in that spot that is just exactly where we need to be. It's like, I don't know, everything's working really well. It's super smooth. I don't crash. Like there's all the things that people complain about, like those things don't exist anymore. I literally haven't had an issue in like a few weeks. And I don't know who did what, but the magic is happening, let me tell you. It's working
For,
real busy.
for you, it might be a combination of both. Because they have pushed some updates that have fixed a lot of issues like the emotes and stuff like that. Of course, new issues to look out for. But I think also like wiping your computer of its bugs may have helped you as well. Maybe that's also something that we need to start adding into like recommendations for when onboarding someone. It's like, is your PC like clean?
Yeah, I don't know why I never thought of that before, but after the wallet guard guy came through and, broke down his app, and I also added wallet guard to my computer. And then after that, I was like, you know what? Maybe I need to check and see if, there's some weird bugs going on, I don't know, malware, whatever that stuff is called. I don't even know what that is, but yeah, I downloaded this app and it worked really well. Like I mean, before I could barely use my computer at all. I mean, it was just really not a fun time. And now it's like brand new again.
Don't raw dog Web3 seed.
Oh, I'm so excited. You have no idea. This is just transformed the way I do things. Like I'm not frustrated and freaking out constantly. Now it's like, ugh, I've been waiting for this moment for a long.
Yeah, because I remember you would kind of mention that you're like, how can I make my Decentraland work better? I keep crashing. I keep something was always happening. I'm happy that your experience has gotten better.
Yeah, it just as good as Roblox, if not better. I mean, all these other virtual worlds, I've been to a lot of them and I've checked them out, but there's nothing in comparison. And now that it's working really well, I mean, now it's like, oh my God, a whole new world just opened up, and I can't wait to just continue exploring and streaming and figuring out how to get the weekly event thing going again. Yeah, so super excited.
I feel like doing this for you was the equivalent of when I was new to Decentraland and I first stumbled across Peanut Butter's Decentraland performance video, way back in the day. For me, Decentraland, I was running at 2 frames per hour and still kind of wanting to be here and just, just not capable of being here. And then I watched PB's video and that just changed everything for me. I was no longer limited. It is a very good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, before I used to always try to use Matt's computer, but he's always coding, so that was never, it was never when I needed it. So now I'm free as a bird to explore. But yeah, I see Joe's hand up.
Yeah, take it away, Joe.
Oh, hi. It's about the when Sid mentioned the wallet guy. I did miss that episode you had with him, Sin. One Existence did send it to me, but I was asleep by that time. I think it was about 2 a.m. So I wanted to just confirm, because that's something I've been wanting to check, just debug my system and just get my security in order. So Sid, I just wanted to check with you. You said you use a MacBook Pro or Mac system.
Yeah.
Does Wallet Guard work with that? Basically.
A laptop.
Yeah.
I'm on a laptop, and I think it's a 2018 Mac, and God, I'm so bad with the processor and whatever. But
it's okay.
Yeah,
I think it's similar to mine, because I'm 2017 MacBook Pro, so you're 1 year ahead. So I'm hoping that I can watch it. It was recorded since. Sorry, I'm checking out your YouTube profile to check if it's there, something I can watch back. I'd love to listen, and yeah.
Yeah, in my YouTube, Sinful Media, it has a little cat picture on it, just to confirm. If you go to the playlist section, there is a playlist called Beyond the NFT, and in there you will see Beyond the NFT with Michael K, which it should
Okay.
be either the first one or second one that pops up.
Is the second one. The first one is with CK Bubbles, so it's the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Sweet. Thank you. I'm gonna bookmark it now so I can have a listen later. Thank you so much.
Yes. Please do bookmark it and like take a moment to kind of listen in on it. From a lot of the Beyond the NFT episodes that I've done, I'm really happy with how that episode came out personally as the producer and host and stuff like that, mainly because like Michael K broke down Wallet Guard like to the finest details for us and showed us like visually how to use it, like because I know for like example an individual such as myself, like I could hear Wallet Guard all I want, but I don't know, me downloading something I'm not too sure, or getting this extension and connecting my wallet to it, I'm not too sure. Part of the reason why I haven't gotten jumped into like any new platforms recently, just the fact of downloading anything, I'm just like, I think I'll do it later. But
I get that. Just to be on the safe side, let's just, stay away from downloading. I totally get that.
yeah, I mean, I still use the Decentraland browser version, despite how everyone says that client is so much more superior.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, just kind of like the combination of Wallet Guard with this app called Malware Bytes. Bytes is like BYTES, I believe. And I found out about that through Madamus and downloaded it. I'm using like a free trial, but it just like kind of went through my whole computer and found any like weird things that needed to be isolated. I forget like the technical term, but it definitely helped. Like both of those things combined, I would say, definitely did the trick for me. I'm so sad I didn't think of this before. I mean, it's actually the whole Wallet Guard talk kind of inspired this whole thing for me. So I was like, maybe I need to check that out because he mentions that on the website too. Like, Apple, like Macs can also get viruses and all that stuff. They're not like 100% safe. So it's just a good thing to do. I don't know if anyone's ever used Malware Bytes.
Malware Bytes. Sorry, I'm just putting it. I'm keeping it like in my notepad so I check it out. Malware Bytes. Okay. Written down.
I do believe that if you were to kind of start getting into Wallet Guard and look into their dashboard, I do believe they have like Malware Bytes listed within their directory. That way, like you can kind of know that you're going to the right website and not like accidentally clicking on a sponsored link that could be a bogus website, and then like you're in there like giving them your credit card information or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm go ahead, sorry.
I was gonna say I have the free version, and I think it goes for like a week or something. But I don't know what's gonna happen once that's over. Like, oh, it's over now. We're gonna just put all that stuff back in. I don't know. So we're gonna find out.
So we learned today that Seed is no longer raw dogging the metaverse. How about anyone else? Anyone else stop raw dogging the metaverse recently? Tisk at all this silence.
Well, I'm still there, so when I do pad up, I'll let y'all know. Yeah.
That's like one of the funniest things I've heard Michael K say in a long time. Like I heard that, I died, and yes, I gotta give him credit for the quote. Don't know where he heard it from, but I heard it from him. This moment of silence is brought to you by Dr. Drip. Make sure to check out his inscriptions, his many projects that he's been getting into, as well as even DCL wearables. Yeah, we did talk about Raver gloves earlier. Make sure to pick up a pair of those. Maybe that could inspire someone to do some like Raver light show emote or something like that. I don't know. We'll see.
Yep. Well, I think all we have to do is just say, okay, it's time to, maybe start closing down, and then that's usually when everybody wants to talk. But yeah, on those inscriptions, I try to listen in on the Twitter spaces and understand it just by osmosis. I figure if I just like listen as much as I can, I'll understand it. But I'm still not there yet. I'm still a noob.
Same. That's why Dr. Drip would probably be my go-to person once I start dabbling in. I guess it is time to use our secret weapon, the closed down fakie. Let's see. I mean, yeah, it wouldn't be a bad time to close down. 2 hours and 34 minutes. We have covered video streaming. We have chilled at Bleases this entire time. Just like I've gotten so much good video. You guys might end up in a video in the future. Let's see. We covered Wellness Week. We answered some questions, and yeah, I mean, the invitation's out there for the next couple of minutes. If you would like to come up and speak, ask any questions. If you're new, welcome. My name is Sinful. This is Canessa, and these are our weekly community building spaces. If you would like to introduce yourself, you're more than welcome to. If not, we're probably going to get into some final thoughts here and start to close down. What do you think, Canessa?
Yeah, I think it's almost lunchtime. I did see you guys check out Sonics that made a cool time lapse of their 3D modeling in the comments on this, so check that out. That's pretty cool. I love watching that, like see how people work. But yeah, I think it's a Saturday. We should go out and enjoy it, have fun, get some food. These Saturdays can kind of run long with all the events, so it is probably good wellness to take breaks along the way for sure.
For sure. All right, I guess on that note, I'll start with Joe. Any final thoughts, comments, concerns?
Nah, I love Decentraland. I love the Decentraland community, and I'm grateful for you all, and I hope to support you the best way I can. Yeah, that's about it. And I'm wishing everyone a fantastic rest of the weekend because, back on Monday, we're at it again, hustling. So yeah, have a great weekend, and it's the end of January, actually. Wow, January flew by fast. Oh yeah, please support me. Buy an artifact too, because my competition ends in 2 days. So if you can support me in any way, please do. One artifact is about 0.01 ETH, and I'd love to have you all purchase as many as possible to help me win my competition. But that's about it. Thank you for having me. Thank you for being as magical as possible. That's it for me.
Thank you, Joe. I mean, thank you for your time, your effort, and looking forward to seeing what's next. And Canessa, looks like our close down fakie worked. We have Dr. Drip up here in the house.
Yep,
How are
hopefully
you this
it's like
morning?
an hour long inscriptions seminar.
Yeah, the fake out gets me every time, you guys. Happy Saturday. Hope everyone's doing well. I enjoyed Wellness Week. I'm glad that this is Wellness Week. I really enjoyed listening to Cyrus and what Cyrus thought about the events. I did catch some of it. I wasn't there the entire time. I've been working a lot this week, but it was pretty cool. No, I wanted to jump up here. A couple things, a couple issues that I had this week. I just reported in the Decentraland Help channel a few things this week. Um, I guess first I'll talk about the marketplace search, which I don't know if you guys knew, but Drawfo, the website's gone. I'm not sure what the story is with that, but Drawfo, the alternative marketplace, is just straight gone. So I was trying to, clean up my my presence, my wearables, get everything in order. I made a new bio link which uses my ETH domain. I thought that was really cool. It's on my Twitter bio, and if you click it, it goes to it. It shows all of my collections, my inscriptions, my Bitcoin ordinals, my cursed ordinals, my Decentraland wearables. There's probably some other stuff I could add on there, but I started with that. And when I was getting to the Decentraland stuff, which I haven't been selling for a while, and I've talked about this openly with you guys before, my friends, talking about how sales have been down in the marketplace for what I think is everyone, except for Rustan. Congrats on selling out. That's a beautiful wearable, and I know it was like a long time in the works. No, but the marketplace. So I go on just today, and it's still, and I've reported this before, but the search feature doesn't exactly. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe it works fine for some people. Maybe, and I'm just guessing here. Maybe it's because there's like strange characters in the title. I don't know, but for some reason, it's really hard to find certain items. I know searching for Rustan doesn't bring all of his items up. You type Rustan, press enter. It doesn't bring all of his items up. Drip, you type drip, it doesn't bring anything of mine up, and that's kind of weird. Like, it should be inclusive of terms. But that's been kind of affecting things for a long time. I released my Volume 2 Transformative Streetwear set, and Sinful, you had me as a guest on your show, and thank you so much for that. It was I contribute the success to that show because you gave me such a good platform to talk about it, to talk about what my plans for it was with the airdrops. And I just kept dragging my feet on delivering those airdrops because I didn't sell a single set since that day. And I've pushed it on Twitter, and Twitter like shuts you down for posting links. The algorithms don't like that, so it kind of puts it in a tough position. And nobody likes a hard shill, so it's kind of a little bit difficult to market these wearables. And then I find out that like it's impossible to find it. Like, if you guys are on the marketplace, search drip with 1 P, search drip with 2 P's, search transformative streetwear, search VOL.1.2. Like, there's no way to find these items. I think you could click over to find any of my other items, and then click on the artist and go find all my collections that way. But that's no way for to make sales, or for anyone to find these items. So that was something that not only I put in the help channel, I put it there before. They don't take it seriously. I found that they want us to be posting on Canny. Canny.io is the website. So I went and I posted on there today. So I'm trying to stay in the right channels. And then the other thing is the hot mic issue has returned. And Shelly discovered it with, I believe it was CR over 9,000, one of our amazing Beast friends. Shout out a kid called Beast, and all of our homies that came through there. No, but we discovered that issue has come back. And if anyone doesn't remember the hot mic issue, it's a very alarming technical issue where if you enable your in-game voice chat, it used to be only on client, we noticed, but this time it's on browser too. if you give permissions to your browser for your mic and press T to talk, there's a glitch where it will stay hot. It will keep your mic open and it won't give you any indicator that it's happening. So you'll be talking on, a private call or talking to someone in the room, or there was one person, I'm not going to say their name, but this is our friend, we all know them, who during tax season last year was on the phone with their accountant sharing their social security number and their full name and address. I'm not making this up. It was like the worst case scenario. And for a while they didn't take it seriously again. It's that help channel. They tell you to clear your cache and try to record a video. And I have no more patience. I want this platform to work. I'm dedicated to it. I will ride it to the ground till the wheels fall off. And those people don't care about it the same. And maybe this is just my opinion, but I'm getting tired. So I told them, I stood up to that and said, please take this more seriously. And they did. And you know what happened? This is the saddest thing. You could go in the help channel and see it right now. They turned around, they escalated it, and they came back the same day and said both teams, QA and technical team, were able to reproduce the issue. And it's been escalated, and we're taking a look at it. So it's like they want us to jump through hoops in the help channel. I know they want us to use the Canny website. I'm trying my best to just follow the rules, but it's very frustrating. I think the one thing I can say is I'm very grateful for how they handled me when I was demanding, a little bit of their attention and a little bit of escalated help. They could have reacted to me, and they didn't. They handled it very well, so I do respect and appreciate that. But objectively speaking, bringing up these issues, we shouldn't be, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's on me, and I'm trying to follow the right channels. But those were some things that I found this week. I think we need to fix these technical issues before we invest in anything else, and that's just my personal view to it. But yeah, if you guys, if you've been using your mics lately, maybe unplug it when you're not in use until they fix the issue. They said they were going to update the project. I don't know, the project update channel or something like that. It says in the help channel. But yeah, just a heads up. But yeah, thank you.
I also sorry. Oh my god, I was just gonna add, I was looking for some of your wearables and some of the other things like a few days ago, and I couldn't find anything. I thought it was just me, but I think I'm sorry it's happening to you and everyone. But yeah, no, that's definitely something that's happening.
Yeah, the way to find things has definitely changed. Like names now, I can't, I don't even know, because I'm trying to find ETH addresses to send somebody something, and it's like I don't even know how to find you. Okay, so I have to look it up on a different platform. But yeah, I totally concur, Dr. Drip. It's hard to find the items you're looking for, and and sales are just I don't know. Yeah, it's sleepy, which is not totally unexpected, but it would be nice if you could look something up. Usually if I'm trying to find a wearable, I try to think, okay, who has it? All right, Fancy owns that. So then I would look up Fancy, but I can't look up Fancy by their name. So then I'd look, well, Fancy's different. I know I have a few places to find Fancy, but even if you're trying to look up somebody by their name so you can find the listing to the wearable, now you can't even do that because of the name. So it's definitely not intuitive in my mind, and that affects sellers. And wow, Drafo's gone. Wow.
Yeah, I noticed Drafo was gone probably a couple months ago when someone messaged me and was like, "Where Drafo?" And I was like, "Whoa." Yeah, I have no clue. But I'm sure it may have had something to do with maybe running out of money and and having to stop. Unfortunately, that's the space we're operating in this bear market, and we could see a change here soon if everything goes good with markets, this mass adoption that we have all been talking about for so long happens, which, I mean, slowly happening. We have frickin' BlackRock advertising like what is Bitcoin and educating people now. So, there is a shift happening now. Yeah.
Yeah, does that mean like old investors and old money are gonna start investing in like bitmaps and like Bitcoin degen plays? I don't know. That'd be interesting.
Not them, but their grandchildren.
Yeah, that's true.
Time, history, technology. This type of technology is gonna transcend even our lifetimes, and blockchain technology after we're gone will probably be like, or could be something completely different and like ultra developed by the time we check out.
Yeah, I know that Canny is the way to do it because I've seen my friends go and post issues there and they respond to all of them, even if you posted something that was just not, maybe it wasn't researched, or maybe it was wrong, or maybe it was a mistake, or maybe your internet went out for a minute and that's what caused the problem. Who knows? But like, they go over each one and they'll review each one. And so I don't know. I just want these things to work. I see Nifty Island and it's pretty dope. Like it's pretty exciting. It's gotten a lot of people like reinvigorated with kind of what we're working on here with VRMs. Like I don't know if a lot of us saw that coming, that what Decentraland was doing with the VRM export would align so well with the next big thing. And I don't know if Nifty Island is the next big thing. I don't know if it's a fad, if it'll die down, or if it's the Facebook to the MySpace. Who knows? But the point is, something is happening right now and it's exciting, and you could feel it whether you've already jumped in Nifty Island or not. We're watching these communities, these NFT communities, a lot of them that were not even really producing, no, not even tweeting in some cases, and they're all coming back and they're producing VRMs, and it puts us in like a really interesting position. It's like all of us Decentraland people, like we're like the OGs of VRMs now. Like like I don't know if we saw that coming. It was a pivot, and I think there's more of that to come. And I think that a lot of us that are positioned early in these kind of sectors of the industry might have our time. And I don't know. I just wish the search function would work so you could find the stuff, so you could buy the things and spend your mana instead of sitting on your mana. Why do you want mana at this point? You want VP that, I don't know. I don't know. I just want things to be fixed. That's all, you guys. I'm not trying to overly FUD things, but yeah, I've been looking at things more realistically, and like I said, wellness was. I'm really glad that Wellness Week happened this because meditating with you guys was in Decentraland was really good for me. I needed to be with my friends.
Scott, go ahead. Go ahead, Sin.
Yeah. I was just gonna make like pertaining to Nifty. I feel like it's just going to. It's exciting for Web3, like you mentioned. It's bringing projects back and they're being active. But not only that, but I feel like Nifty will also bring its own crowd of people into Nifty, and then from there, individuals will meet people like us, and I feel like it's all good for the space. And I'll pass it to Scott.
Thanks, Simple. I just want to reach out and give you a hug, Doc, because I know how passionate you are. I was listening to I don't know, some audio documentary about skateboards the other day, and I was thinking about you and just how you've been in that space, and you really seem to be like an alt space polymath, right? Where you just find yourself in these spaces, and you go really deep and really hard. So a lot of respect goes out to you. So I wanted to give you some comfort and say, yeah, keep keep grinding. But I did want to, I this morning I got onto a post by Spotty Wi-Fi, and I'm looking for it right now. It's in my reply somewhere, but he made some comment. He's always posting this is the King's Alpha, and it was actually a very succinct post, and I kind of aligned all of my here. It would help if I clicked on the actual replies. It helped me align a lot of my thoughts, and I think it goes in well with your frustrations and what you've been saying. Here it is. So this was about a day ago, 22 hours ago, but I saw it first this morning. Spotty said, Decentraland is a powerful platform that allows you to create custom avatars for Nifty Island. And the thoughts that I had on that is like, what a community can produce a lot of is what is the path of least resistance, and that's socially and creatively, and that's, I think, part of the reason why we're closing in on 10,000 collectible items in the Decentraland market. I made another comment about how it's almost going on 5 years that the Decentraland market has been out there. That and maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it's just 4 or 4.5. But I think the first collections came out, Canessa, in 2019. Is that correct? The first creator collections.
They were available, but that was when it was in like the beta tester. I think there were 50 people allowed in the beta test, so I believe most were not claimed until February of 2020. But
okay.
they were created.
Okay.
They were given out earlier, but yeah.
Okay. So we're almost at 4 years. They were created. Yeah. It's my point. My point is that it's a community led created market, and there's nothing out there that's like that. And I think part of the reason why we're still here, I say this multiple times, and it's like, okay, a year ago it was all going to be about the Bored Ape Island and how that was just looked super cool and scary, and that's still in development, and great for them, but it's like Decentraland is still here, and I think if Decentraland, we populated, owned, and operated by you and me, that's Decentraland. And if we continue with the mindset of, okay, let's develop these tools so that we can make builds that are easier. My heart also goes out to One Existence and how frustrated he is about the I know a kid called Beast project has run into some snags, and I'm thinking specifically about One Existence trying to build stuff in Decentraland, and how there's like, I think now there's like 4 or 5 different builders for Decentraland, and that's the nature of a FOSS ecosystem, a free and open source software system. There's going to be a lot of frogs. We're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs until we arrive upon a system that works. I think the marketplace is something to hold up, and it's something that does work. Part of the reason why we give away so many wearables is because it's easy, it's accessible for people to come in. And I'm not saying it's easy like, oh, all I have to do is think of something and then it's created, but it is the path of least resistance, right? That's why we've got close to 10,000 collectible items out there in the marketplace after just 4 years. That if we approach building in world or deploying scenes or creating quests or activations or something like that into Decentraland with that same mindset, we'll get there eventually. But if we approach it with that type of thinking, I I think the future is bright, and I think it is because of the nature of how Decentraland was set up, and that it is free and open source. Somebody was saying earlier about how it's not the foundation, it's not the DAO. I think that was you, Sinful. It's the people, and I think we need to just keep coming back to that. Yeah, just hats off to the In-World Builder team. Hats off to the people that have gone to the DAO and received funding and have, actually delivered on stuff. And, all those people that have come in and extracted wealth from the DAO and pulled up stakes, fuck you. So, yeah.
I back that statement. Everything that was said.
Yeah, thank you, Scott.
And I know, going back to kind of what Dr. Drip mentioned as well, like kind of are we positioned very well and we don't even see it, like, for what the future could be. I think Decentraland, especially you, Dr. Drip, like, you have wearables in Decentraland that soon you'll be able to search and actually find them. And like, but like, what I mean is, like, you already have a wearable line on Decentraland. You already have all these things out that where, like, someone could log in, put it onto their avatar and extract it out and go to any other platform they please. You mentioned Nifty Gateway, like, being the big push, and Nifty Gateway, Nifty Island being the big push, and like, the VRM space, and how potentially we have been early. I will agree with you that we are early here. Make sure to get all them VRMs.
So with VRMs, like, I just have a question to pose, because it is the first time that, like, if you just think about a wearable as an NFT, not as clothing that your avatar wears, because we kind of, like, we get away from the fact that those are NFTs, non-fungible tokens. They're minted on the blockchain. They're immutable. There's only, they're scarce. If it's a mythic, there's only 10 in existence. And then when you convert that into a VRM, you're essentially, jeopardizing the scarcity of it. And it's almost like an orange, and, like, the whole orange is the NFT, and you're, like, peeling the peel off the orange. Like, I mean, what are your thoughts on that? Like, if I have a one of 10 mythic Dr. Drip glasses, there's only 10 in existence in Decentraland, but now I can just make a VRM and take that to Nifty Island, or, other side, or whatever the next thing is going to come along. Are there any thoughts that is actually, like, jeopardizing the scarcity of the NFT? Because it's almost like it's reverse NFTing it, because it's breaking it down to its raw form, its GLB form. So I don't know. I'm just, like,
It's kind of like,
wondering the thoughts.
it's kind of like a right click and save, right? People are like, well, I don't care about NFTs because I can right click that JPEG and save it. And part of it is being in a specific ecosystem is what creates its utility and its rarity. Part of the immutability of any NFT that is out there, it depends on a system like the Interplanetary File System, or IPFS, and pinning it in places. If everybody around the world wants to be able to upload the assets that make Decentraland possible quickly, it's because there are instances of those digital files that exist geographically close to where you are. I went through a FAFO session where with Madamus, and I don't know, is Madamus out here in the X space? I know he's in World. Anyway, where we went through and we used the whatever get avatar component in the SDK, where you can take and create an NPC and clothe it with the rarest, like, we got some of the rarest wearables in Decentraland and put it on this avatar that we placed in a scene. So it's like those digital files are out there and they're accessible. Anybody can go and right click and save a JPEG. It has to do with what the context is. Are you in Decentraland, or are you in a knockoff version? So I don't know if I answered that question, but it's like that's something that's always been a possibility. Like if it's just the image, digital rarity is kind of a weird thing, right? Because the very nature of something being digital is that you can make multiple copies for practically zero cost. But having a ledger that is immutable and is recording something, that's the cryptocurrency component of it. And that's the weird nature of going all the way back to even fiat currency and credit cards. It's like, who says that you got more money than I do? Well, it's these, TRW and Equifax and all those other places that do credit reports, and these numbers in this digital spreadsheet at the bank say so. It's kind of all imaginary. But we do have to have these rules and say, well, this is what makes one thing rare and the other thing, abundant. So I don't know, did that make sense, or did that completely muddy the waters? Sorry.
No, it did. I'm just like, it's more of a morality thing. Like Dr. Drip, you make wearables, you sell them, and you're talking about like, not even having them sold here in Decentraland. So now I could just take the mythic glasses that I bought from you and put it in a VRM and take it to other platforms. Do you have any thought, like any desire to go and like upload your wearables for sale at these other platforms? Because like I just see it hurting the wearable creators, and I just like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's a hot topic. I know C has her hand up, and I'm very interested in what she has to share. But I will touch on that briefly because it's something that Nikki and I were talking about a lot this past week. And she actually posted to the Canny, the Canny website, a request to actually maybe add an option to disable that for specific items. So a creator, if they choose to not allow that, then they would have that option. I think it depends on creators, and this is kind of like a wild west transition. We didn't really see it coming, and now it's here, and so we need to adapt to it. So there's going to be some of us creators who say, hell no, you can't, you can't take that mythic skin and reproduce it and start selling it on your own, and you're front running me. I made certain amount of sales on it, and then I didn't even post it over there, and you want to do it. But technically, and I think maybe even legally, they have that right, because of the terms of service, and I guess you own the mesh when you buy it. Furthermore, there are ways of getting the item off of your computer. When it's loaded through a web browser, it's very easy to get the item off of your computer. Through a client, I hear it's a little bit harder, but I know that there have been people ripping models from games for a very long time. I know the Grand Theft Auto custom role-playing server community was always really into that. So there are tools that can rip models as well. I'm not saying that I would recommend it or that, but I'm saying it's possible, and people technically have the right. So I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna. I think that's a really cool idea for me as a creator to be able to check something when I'm publishing an item that says, no, this is a one of one. No, you don't get to, do anything crazy with it. Or maybe because it's a one of one, I want them to, and having that option would be cool. So I don't know. I don't know the right answer. If anyone, I think the courtesy is to ask, ask a creator. But if anyone asked me, I'd have to think about it, but I don't think I would have any problems, if someone wants to take the cucumber hater blockers and add them to their VRM and export it. Like, That's all. That's cool. That's gonna make me feel cool. The only thing I wouldn't like is if someone was scamming off of it in some way. Like, it was a free item and they are trying to sell it or say it was theirs and they may. I don't know. There's certain situations where I could see maybe I would request not to. But yeah, I think that this is a transition that we just need to adapt to as we see fit. But personally, I don't really have a problem with people using my meshes, and that's I think my view on that. I used to be really nervous about sending displays over to the Fashion Week festivals and the galas and all these other little events, and it was so stupid. Like I was paranoid, like what someone was gonna take my big T mesh and turn it into so stupid. Those people had other things to do. They were putting on big events, and it was just so silly. But I think for me, the thing that changed my view on it is working with Last Slice and InWorld Builder on these CCO assets, because it's free. The point, like the success of it is going to be from people using it, and that's a free process. So like leaning on that and then looking at my work as a whole, it's like, well, it's going to be okay to give some of these away, and it's not necessarily all about sales for every collection. I actually, paid hundreds of dollars to spam drop those hater blockers to people, which got it delisted, and that's fine. It was a spam drop. I should have thought twice, but I it's not always about the money. It's about people getting it and using it and enjoying it. So there's going to be a threshold or a line in the sand that I think we're all gonna step over together.
Thank you, thank you. Seed, thank you.
So sorry. I don't want to elongate the conversation. I know you guys said you wanted to go, and this always does happen. It's so funny. Um, but yeah, a lot of cool things are being covered. Okay, so I've had this idea for quite some time, and I think I've asked a few people, like, what do you think about this? And I'm just gonna put this out there. I want to build a shop at Seed that features everybody's wearables and makes it so that you can like see it on a model. Like you can click through a library and it's like you're going to a shop like at a mall or something. There's like a little desk with like or more like at a festival, where like they'll have like a merch booth with like a table and all the things that are available on the wall or a sweatshirt or whatever it is on the model that you can click on. You can click on the item and it'll show that item on the model. So you see, what it looks like. I mean, originally I wanted to do it so that you could click on it and try it on, just like a dressing room on yourself. But I don't know. Madamus wasn't, I don't know if that's like possible or like what that would take. But this is like something I wanted to do for a really long time because I've always had a hard time just like finding wearables. Like I mean, I've spent like hours just searching for specific wearables, and I just thought it was my computer. But like this would be amazing because I also have like an in real life shop that I sell my clothing in, like limited edition sweatshirts and t-shirts and stuff like that with my art on it. So I wanted to combine like the in real life with the virtual so you can like buy a wearable, or like if Dr. Drip has like a hoodie that's a wearable and then also an in real life version of that hoodie, and you can just go to Seed and buy it, and it's just like a shop and it's always there. It never like leaves, and it just and as far as like I don't know, like the technicalities and all of that stuff. Like, I wouldn't want to take any percentage from the sales or anything. I just want to be able to create a place where you can actually go shopping. I know they have them all over land, like those little boxes with the wearables on them. But I wanted to create like a real deal shop, like give it that like, in real life vibe where you can do all that stuff.
You know, nobody's really done that yet, have they? Like, really made a shop like where it's like a store. I mean, there's been activations for like Fashion Week, and then they're here and then they're gone, but not one that like sticks around. You could have so much fun because you could like curate the look that's on the mannequin, like go through, pick out an outfit that you love, and somehow have it up there. So
So
I say do it. I think
Dogman had the mini mart
yeah, I was gonna
where
say
you,
Dogman was the first that made
but then
those
Metaskins also
closets.
had the we went there almost a year and a half ago, where you'd walk into like this pod, and then your avatar would take on it was an entire skin, and then you could like do your emote and walk around and stuff like that and see what it looked like in world. um, I can look for the coordinates on that and see if that space is still there, but that was a really cool experience. So to answer the question, Seed, about is it technically feasible, at least in SDK5 or SDK6, it totally was. Is it going to be possible in SDK7? I don't know. I would think so. But yeah, there have been things like that, but nothing to the extent that you just described. I like your idea.
There was, yeah, it's a great idea. There was also, and something that might contribute a little bit because it sounds like it might be part of the formula that's required for this. But Hayabusa had, I want to say, she submitted was it in the Game Jam? I think it was in. I think it was a Game Jam submission, but it was an extension to the in-game wearable store, and it did have the little model next to it where it would put the actual items and build an outfit. It was like an outfit builder. And
I think, yeah, her and SRJH, right?
So they had two submissions. Yeah, they had their one with the butterflies that was very visual, and I want to say Hayabusa was working on the store one by themselves, but I'm not exactly sure. But I
think
do
so
remember that.
because I remember checking it out Inner World before the Game Jam, and it was awesome. Like you just go pick through and you can see what you want to see.
Yeah, so that might be part of the recipe, and then make it like a big mall, and then yeah, but that is cool.
It's still there. The Metaskins, I just posted it in World. It's 4, -2, and I'm in one of the pods as the, I don't know, the knight from Monty Python. Yeah, you can go there. You can try on all of their characters. 4, -2.
Thank you, Scott. And Blease?
I usually do an Irish goodbye, but just wanted to say thank you, and thanks again for coming to the place today, and everyone who showed up, and for the chat. It's been great. I have to drop down. Colorful Down There is in a magazine, and it's debuting tonight, which is why I also can't make ABC Decentraland. I apologize for that. Would have loved to have been a part of that. But if you're around in DCL, definitely check out ABC Decentraland. But yeah, I got to be IRL tonight to support Colorful and this launch of this magazine she's a part of. So take care, everybody, and see you next time. Thanks again, Sinful. And if you haven't yet, type in the chat on Twitch, ETH address. Even if you have one, honestly, I'll send it to you. Just send to a friend. That's all I ask. But yeah, take care, peeps.
Thank you so much for hosting us today. This build is awesome, and your words and energy are awesome. So thank you, and tell Carol, like, congrats. That's amazing.
Yeah, and for sure, yeah, free wearables to anyone that wants one. Just drop into my Twitch chat, Twitch TV/Simple Meat Sticks, and drop your wallet address, and I'll get the address to him. Thank you, Blease, for hosting us. Thank you for the giveaways. And yeah, have fun tonight.
So I have an idea, Doc, just like talking about the the marketplace and having it like revamped. Fancy was talking to about like wanting to have a store, but I, posted in the DAO yesterday. We were just like brainstorming, like, okay, what could we do? And I'm like, we need to be looking not to copy others, but like we need to be looking at the other game engines and like what are they doing right? Because they have, they are putting in the time and the resources to do the research and like what gamification strategies are actually the most effective to get players to come back. And like, I don't know, I mean, for me, Fortnite, like, right now I'm working on my skin collection. I know that like the way their marketplace works differently than ours is actually really effective, and it made me think we could get so many people, maybe so many people to log in. What they do different is that the item shop is not the same every day. Like in that sense, like ours is so stale and boring to compare it because ours is just there all the time. But what if we changed our market, or even had like a different marketplace, like call it the 24-hour market, and like Dr. Drip, you could choose to put your item in there, and you don't know necessarily when it's going to appear. And like Seed, you could put your shirts in there, and Sin, if you had Mew Bubbles, you could put yours in there. And every 24 hours, like at 4:00 p.m., it refreshes, and it's brand new stuff, and you don't know what's going to be in there. And it's only there for 24 hours. And, to be honest, it might never come back. Like that's part of the power of why these other, or like, platforms, I mean, it makes you want to buy, because like they're the rarest skins. Like there's Travis Scott skin. Nobody knew it was only going to be in the item shop for 6 days, and it never returned. So you create that kind of FOMO on top of it. Like maybe creators could choose, like, do I want to publish this in the traditional marketplace, or do I want to publish it in the 24-hour shop, or do I want to do both? And maybe there's some kind of like a I don't know, price incentive that it's less. But I just think that scarcities, because what it would do is get people to log in at 4:00 every day to see what's there. Because my first metaverse was Webkinz World, and oh my gosh, like their item shop changed every hour. Like I literally would go on hikes and like check the item shop, go on a hike. I knew I had not 2 hours, I had like an hour and 58 minutes before I had to be back. And that was like pinnacle. That was pinnacle FOMO. Like that was not a healthy time period. Like, but I'll be damned if I didn't have every Webkinz item, So just like different ways to make it fun. Like make it just, I don't know, make it come to life. If somebody logs in and they get that mythic because it was in the item shop, oh my gosh, that'd be crazy cool. Yeah.
It could be as simple as a mint timer, like a mint schedule. And a lot of NFTs do this. I know a lot of Inscriptions mints do this. You'll have 3 days to mint, and you could even take that. You wouldn't need to modify the marketplace too much. You just add a filter for items that have a timed mint, and maybe there's a few filters. So it's there's a 24-hour mint page, and then there's up to 1 week, and then there's up to 30 days, and then up to 90 days. I don't know. But you wouldn't want people to, put something, put a mint timer for 1,000 days, and then it shows up next to the. So I don't know. That's just my initial thoughts. But I love that. That's a great idea. Being able to schedule your mints so that I'm publishing it. Let's say I'm so excited and it's midnight and I'm gonna publish it. No one's awake to buy it, but maybe I can schedule it so that it starts minting tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and then have it end 24 hours or 48 hours later. I love that. I think we should stick it on the canny.
Yeah, it's definitely something a canny would have to take care of. And then Fancy just said after X amount of time, the remaining supply is auto burned. Like that could be another cool aspect. You could have, I mean, I'm not a dev, so I don't know, but it seems like you could have a little toggle switch that like it just maybe my emo is just going to randomly be in the item shop. Like you can't buy it in the regular shop, but it's going to be in the item shop. But maybe you want to make more scarcity, so it's just like after X amount of time it's going to get burned. I mean, like humans, it's just going to feed on our fear of missing out. Like I know it's not a healthy thing, but like I'll around 4 o'clock, like, I want to know what's in the item shop today. Is there something new? Like, is there something I haven't seen for a while? Because then it could be a mint of, 1,000 or 5,000. But if you only like, so you're not controlling the size of the mint, you're controlling the access to the mint. And I think right there, you're creating scarcity on top of scarcity, that you only have this amount of time. And it would make it fun. But then my other thought is, turn it into Hunger Games style, and actually don't even have it in the marketplace, have it in world. Imagine like Angzar, if you're in the middle of Angzar, and then every 24 hours, all of the stuff that gets sold, they're like around Angzar, and you it's like a countdown, and then it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all of a sudden you can go, and everybody runs to find the wearable, and maybe it's like 10% cheaper or something, but like, and we could have like laser guns and like turn it into a battle royale to try to get to the wearables. But it would make it, it'd make it more, I mean, there's not much more like that is exciting and fun about just buying a wearable. Like, that's not the fun part. The fun part is the wearables. So these things would make the process of getting it more interactive. And it's just like, it's what other platforms are doing. So if we want to be competitive, if we're talking about like, we're the closet of the metaverse, then we need to be competitive in that way too. But I don't know how to code or anything, so it's just
that actually reminds me, when we were talking about the different in-world store things, I know, Angzar has their in-world store, but we kind of forgot about Wilderness. Wilderness had the bazaar, which was very similar, and even before that, like their mint process was in game. So when you said that, like, it totally reminded me of those days. Like, people were lining up back in the day when there was a ton of us and Wilderness was new. People were getting in fights because people were using auto clickers to try and click the thing really fast, and it was wild, but it was an experience. And I don't know, fear of missing out. I think when I think of it in those terms, it's we're talking marketing, but when I'm on the other end of the fence and it's happening to me, I like to call it excitement of engagement, really, because there's no fear. There's no fear in what I'm doing. I'm happy. I'm joining, some other people. Yeah, hopefully it doesn't go to zero. Maybe all this stuff goes to zero eventually. But no, I'm excited when I'm doing it. The action of doing it is fun. And so, like you said, having an experience behind it, um, I, I've been talking about that for inscriptions. I would love to do a Decentraland metaverse mint, and I think that there's a lot of building to be done behind what you just suggested in creating an experience. I think maybe Nifty Island might be about to show us, how that's done. We haven't seen any of their like big airdrop things or any of their token things that are going to happen. But yeah, gamified mints. Decentraland is set up well for it, and I think that that's a really great idea. We should stick it on the canny.
Oh my gosh. Who's minted the name Canny?
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, Rustan had to ask. Because I told them to go check out my post and upvote it. You just need a Google account to log in real quick. It's not a big deal. But Rustan was like, "Is this real? Did Dr. Drip get hacked?" And I was like, "Dude, that's totally valid." But no, Canny is the website that they want us to use.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Usually those are the processes. Remember the early day Zoom calls with Decentraland Foundation, and like people were like accidentally logging in with their like actual email addresses, and then Yeah. You know. Yeah.
canny.dcl.eth is available.
I do have 100 mana.
You have 24 hours.
Who can spot me some gas money? Oh man.
I mean, Decentraland takes credit cards. Just saying.
Oh yes, you're right.
See, I mean, shit that we were complaining about a year ago, there's just not a barrier anymore.
Yeah, you're totally right. Yeah, you could just feed it your credit card and give you mana. That's I mean, we've gotten a whole website rework, which I mean, I like it. I mean, it's interactive. I will say that the like everything is kind of like, I don't know. It's everything's difficult to find now, like the category you want to go to, but once you get used to it, I guess it's good. But yeah, I mean, we've seen our innovations, like the stuff that we used to complain about, like you mentioned a year ago. It's like it's here. And yes, it brought its bugs, but we're working on that. What I feel like it'll work one day.
I mean, I guess I tend on the side of half full as a Decentraland maxi, and that's not going to be a surprise to anybody. There's a lot about Decentraland that I like, but I think there's an exercise that is really beneficial, and it's called, counting your blessings. And as old fashioned of an idea as it is, it actually works. And to just go through and think about all of the things that do work well, all of the things that we had complained about and asked for and then got. As a species, humans habituate to things pretty quickly, which is important and helps us survive. So that we can put our mental efforts towards new problems. But yeah, I think certain things get left out. You're right. There was an entire redesign of the website, and yes, it does make things complicated. Like, I went to go look for the name, and there was a whole, optimal path that I would use to just check and see where the names are, and it took me a minute to find out if it was available, because the redesign made that difficult. But that's kind of the move fast and break shit mentality of of the times that we're in. Not just Web3. I mean, that's been around since at least 20 years in that development cycle. So there's I mean, I used to listen to these spaces and the ones that Lastrom did with Last Slice to Ask Me Anythings, and annotate it. And I think there were a couple of CBD spaces that I even like used AI transcriptions, because it's hard to go back and search and find out what it was that we were talking about. But I think the benefit of having that searchable history or that searchable text is so that we can step back and take things in a moment of reflection and realize that there's a lot of stuff that these new and shiny environments put in bright relief of like what isn't working in Decentraland. But there we have come a long way. There are many things that have been improved. Our DAO hasn't been drained. There's still money that can be distributed to developers and artists and creators. The foundation had a lot of layoffs. There's the CEO changed hands, and that can be a real disruptive event for businesses, but I would say relatively low stress for Decentraland. You know, having that transition. So yeah, there's been a lot of shit that's happened, but there's a lot of things that have gone right, and yeah, we're still showing up. We're still here. I'm still very bullish on the future. I'm bullish on all of you, and I think that's what makes me bullish on the future.
I'm bullish on you too, Scott. Yeah, I mean, we have a community here like that is just full of talented individuals in their own fields. Like this collective of people. I like this collective of people. Very smart, very able. We just have to be given the opportunity, and you know, there have been many examples of you know, just the individual just running with the opportunity. Sorry, and sorry, I've been kind of multitasking here. Looks like I have my guest for Beyond the NFT set up for Monday. We will be hosting CK. CK and I will be hosting Salty on Monday night for Beyond the NFT.
Oh, I'm super excited to hear that. Somebody who's been in the space and has done a lot of discovery for like animation and AI and generative motion is Salty. So I'm really looking forward. I'm happy to hear that.
It's gonna be fun, even like, you know, possibly even getting into a little bit of the spice of what's been going on in RuPaul's Drag Race, since we've been all watching it after Beyond the NFT every week since the season started. We're waiting for those nails to come out. You know, we're just waiting. We're over here like animals. Oh, hi Jim. Hey Jim. Drop into my oh, excuse me. Drop into my Twitch and drop your wallet address so I can send it to Blease, and he'll send you wearable, NFT wearable. One day may be worth lots of money. Maybe. Not financial advice. And yeah, anyone else that hasn't as well, drop into Twitch TV/Sinful Meat Stick, drop your address, and I'll get it to Blease. And I mean, or if there are any more topics we can cover today, perhaps maybe we can cover them very quickly, because I do believe that Crover gets started at True Band Room in 25 minutes, and then an hour later after that at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, Canessa and Buffalo will be hosting, what is it called, Canessa?
It's actually Meta Tiger, and I created this, so it's the Meta Nessa Bull competition. It's another beautiful creation with Meta Tiger. I made the GLB and animated it, and he actually fixed the GLB, like reworked it, put the texturing on it, so it was really cool to do. It was yeah, it was fun to get in that bowl the first time. I had like some really horribly like evil things I was gonna do, like make it so that your avatar gets caught in the bowl, like in a collider, and so you literally would have to teleport away from the bull as it's thrashing you. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that. So if you guys have ridden the bull in the past, it literally is we're counting behind the scenes. And so whoever's avatar stays on it the longest, gets the prizes. We've got a practice bull, so you can come in, practice on the practice bull first. They are actually different bulls, and they have different colliders. And so the really rough bull to ride, that one has a smaller collider, so it's actually really hard to stay on it with your avatar. Yeah, so come by. It's fun. It's pretty cool. It's just a good, I don't know, it's fun to ride the bull. I'm horrible at it. Like, I try it and I'm like 5 seconds. I cannot ride the bull. Even though I made the thing, I raised it from a calf, like hand fed it, Wagyu beef, like massages. What? Sorry, that was my dog. So, yeah, come by Buffalo's.
Buffalo's. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern today, 3 p.m. Pacific, ABC Decentraland Tour will be live. Sorry, I had to sneeze. Anything you would like to say about ABCs, Scott?
Just that we meet at the ABC Clubhouse. That's at -31, -27. That's CK Bubbles parcel. Yeah, we're going to be checking out some of the Wellness Week builds. I don't know if CK is going to be able to join us like they did last week. I know that they are busy with the RuPaul's Drag Race in their part of New York. So Billy and I will definitely be there. We'd love to have you and join us in the duck race, which we always have interesting and fun giveaways for people.
Exclamation mark quack.
Exclamation mark quack to join. Exclamation mark duck hat to figure out what you want your duck to wear as a duck hat.
I think the propeller makes them go faster. That's why I go with the propeller.
Oh,
if I catch
totally.
the wind. If I catch the wind just right,
Also, if you're unable to join us on Twitch, on Billy's, if you're just able to join us in World, we decided to have this new system where, like, I'll just like sponsor somebody. So if my duck finishes, whatever place my duck finishes, then you can still get a prize. So hassle free.
Oh, nice. Well, thank you, Scott, for being here. Let's see. Tonight's seed might have something. I believe it's like kind of like up in the air. Maybe a chill session. Seed, have you finalized your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm totally down. I just thought there was an event going on like later this evening. That's why I was like, maybe it's not a good idea. And it's really hard to find people that want to play that like actually show up. That's been kind of my biggest my biggest thing, but that's pushing me to, just play myself. I mean, like, I have all the gear just sitting there staring at me. So yeah, I'm totally down, like maybe like around 11 o'clock, I was thinking, but yeah, I'm totally up for it. If anybody wants to come out, I unfortunately didn't like get a flyer up on the website or anything, but it can just be like a chill night. I can experiment.
Pop-ups are part of Decentraland's magic. I some of the best times I've had on Decentraland have been through just like small pop-up gatherings of just friends being on the platform and being like, you wanna listen to some music or watch something, and yeah, so I think I mean, if you're up for it, Seed, definitely should. Yeah, don't let anything discourage you.
Yeah, I just won't look up. I, I will try not to, pay attention to the fact that there's a camera on me in some way, form, or shape. Maybe I'll just put my hands out or something. Just use the visuals.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I believe like a lot of the times, Madamus just throws up some visuals and then DJ's in the back. I'm sure he could set you up like that.
Yeah,
Cool.
and Cyrus, I wanted to say, Vroomway's got your back. If you start DJing, we'll bring some of the homies through after our event at Vroomway. We got the Social Friday events every Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, and we would love to support live music in the metaverse. So yeah, if you do, please let us know, and we'll bring the homies, and it's all good vibes. I don't think you need to, of course it's exciting and it's normal to be nervous, but don't go too hard on being nervous because you're with family. So yeah, would love to see it.
Well, that's awesome. I'm super excited to make this happen. So yeah, let's do it. Let's do some stuff. And I mean, in the future, near future, I'm gonna get some flyers out. But yeah, it's so hard. I mean, a lot of the musicians and people that I work with, like they've never been to Decentraland, so some of them just, I don't know, they either like I had two people that were sick last week and they didn't show up, but there was a lot going on anyway. I feel like last Saturday was kind of an off night. And then I ended up passing out on my laptop. I don't know what happened after that point. I'm going to make sure I drink tons of coffee so that doesn't happen again.
Make sure to hydrate too. And okay, I'll pass it over to Dr. Drip for any final thoughts.
Yes, final thoughts. I think I started with my final thoughts. I put them all first, but I'm glad we had those discussions. My final thoughts are going to be dedicated to the In-World Builder made by Last Slice. Real quick, let me share a visual up on the Jumbotron. Coming up this Tuesday, it's January 30th. The time to remember is 9 a.m. Pacific time or noon if you're on the East Coast. And it's going to take place in the Decentraland DAO Discord server. There is a Testing Tuesday, which Testing Tuesdays are normally pretty dope. If you've never been to one, you get to see what these grants have been cooking up and what it actually looks like. And so it should be pretty exciting for us to show it off to anyone who hasn't already seen it. I know we've been doing some building sessions on Fridays. I believe it's every other Friday, but it might be the schedule for that might change. I'll have to double check. But for this one, Tuesday, Testing Tuesday, catch us there. It's pretty cool what we've been working on, and some of these little bells and whistles that Lastrum has been throwing on. There's some cool stuff, so definitely show up, show your support. We'd appreciate it, and hopefully we can change the way that we build in Decentraland forever. So thank you for listening to me and my opinions today. I appreciate you guys, all of you guys, every one of you. I'm still dedicated to Decentraland. I still love it. It's my home base. If you see me in there and you try and say hi and I don't get to you, it's because I'm in another tab cooking. So just know that I give you guys a hug back, every single one of you. So thank you for showing up and contributing to what we're building. So thank you.
Thank you for being here, Dr. Drip. I'm glad that we faked you out, got you up on stage, gave us a very important topics to even cover and talk about. So yeah, thank you for being here. You're one of my favorite humans. Um, let's see. Yeah, just to, I guess, to chill. In 15 minutes, Crover will be live at True Band Room. Make sure to check that out. Then in an hour and 15 minutes, 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, the Meta Nessa Bull competition will be live. So make sure to drop into that. And then followed by ABC Decentraland Tour. And keep an eye out for tomorrow's episode of Dead Reckoning. Ed Reckoning. Oh wait, oh my god, I said that. I butchered that. Save me, Kanessa.
Dead Reckoning, decentralized
I said it
education.
right.
And Dead Reckoning is what you do if you're a sailor at sea and you lost your navigation equipment. You navigate using your, well, Dead Reckoning, using the stars and the waves and the smell of the salt air and not much else. So that's, at a lot of times, that's what we're doing. We're just navigating with what we got.
Yep, exactly. Thank you for saving me. And yeah, followed by potentially, or well, yeah, for tonight, Seed might have a pop up. Make sure to tune into that. Monday, make sure to tune in for on Monday. I'm seeing a new event for Monday as well, a night in Antrim by Help I'm Streaming. He recently received a grant to produce content on Decentraland. So I mean, I feel like it's maybe something we can start supporting him with and seeing if you know we can help him push it to the next level. Um, Followed by MoFia warm-ups with MoFia Mondays with Stony Eye, and yeah, Beyond the NFT, this just silly little show that this cat dude hosts. But there's gonna be a cool host there. Salty will be there. Tune in, everyone. Love you all, and I'll pass it to Kanessa to close it out. I'll stop talking now.
No, thank you. That was great. That was great. And everybody, have a good week. Take care of yourself. Take time away, to recharge when needed. And we'll see you back here in another week. Take care out. Bye bye.